All right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How are you all doing? Seems like chat is going nuts already. Apologies for the little bit of a delay today. Really sorry that we're about 45 minutes late. Yeah, I was, as Mike is saying in the chat, I was actually commentating on Bowl TV during the World Series of Bowling PTQ. So before we get into it, huge thank you to everybody at Bowl TV, Jimmy, Mike, all the guys that are fantastic out there. Chase, incredible people. Mike invited me. I hit him up telling him, hey, I'll be at PTQ, so I'll come say hi to you. And he invited me into the booth with Jimmy and Chase, and it was awesome. So big thank you to those guys to start off the stream. Make sure to go check out Bowl TV if you haven't. They have some awesome coverage coming of the World Series, and they're just super fun in there. But let us get into things. And I was unfortunately late because traffic was a little gross, and I only got out of there at 4:30. It was a kind of nutty final game, and they asked me to hang in until the end of the tournament. So I jumped into that and just making sure my Facebook post goes live. But I think we're going to be good. But anyways, enough about me. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys had a good week so far. It's been a couple of days. We got a lot of people hopping in right now, so really hope that you guys have enjoyed the last couple of hours where we had a lot of Johnny coming in, number one, talking about the tailgate that we had. I see some Buffalo Wild Wings from insert name, otherwise baked chicken from Johnny. That sounds fantastic. Fan of all cars, what's going on? Joe, what's going on? Black Widow Toxin Pearl is a unicorn acquired at all costs. That ball is 100% not worth $200. I think it's $200, right? Yeah. No, there was the Black Widow Toxin series is one that I think Bowlers Mart posted and they got their hands on. It's not a domestic release. It's an overseas release. There's a very limited amount available. So be aware of that. I've heard, mixed things about it so far. But yeah, let's see who else is hopping in. Big Mike, what's going on? Thank you to everybody from my Discord who jumped in to let people know that I'd be a little bit late. Otherwise, down by the river, what's going on? Monsoon is your ball. Wow. That ball hasn't even come out yet. Hold on. No, never mind. That ball is banned. It has not even been released yet. That ball only releases in a couple of days. Mike, yep, 45 minutes. Thank you, Mike. Super Pump My Vengeance and Ion Pro Solid are being delivered today from Kevin. That is an awesome pair of bowling balls. Aaron Springborn, what's up? James G4, what's going on? 300 Dreamin'. G4, Kevin. We got Lau. You guys were all hopping in. Guardian, what's going on? Clark. We got a lot of people hopping in. So what are going to be our big topics today? Today, I'm going to mention the World Series of Bowling PTQ a little bit, talk about what I saw at that event, because it was interesting. Scores were very low. There's a cool field that ended up making. It was a very fun event. For anyone who doesn't know, the World Series of Bowling is here in Minnesota going on right now for the next 2 weeks. So they're in Minnesota for quite a while. I'll be getting more coverage there over the next couple of days before I head out for nationals next week. But otherwise, we're going to talk about the best bowling balls of 2026. Who's done well, who's done poorly, which balls have actually aged well, and which ones are already on the discontinued list. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We might talk about some of the worst bowling balls of 2026, and I'm not just talking about the Apex Jackal on that one. We'll talk about that a little bit and so much more. Remember, these are always full Q&A sessions. So if you guys have any bowling questions, non-bowling questions, whatever it may be, please let me know down below in the chat. I answer everything and anything that you guys have to offer. And then remember, we're live on 4 different platforms right now. We're live on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook. So if you want to go watch it in a different format, make sure to go check that out. My post is still not done. Are you kidding me, Facebook? But otherwise, if you are on a different platform, make sure to drop a follow or subscription. We have 2 videos posting every single day on the short form platforms, and then 3 videos a week over on YouTube. But let's get it all going. Let's see. Clark, I caved and ordered a Bionic. Yeah, it seems like Storm is back caught up with their Bionics is the way it seems. It seems like Storm has officially caught up on their Bionics because I know our pro shop has gotten a couple. I've heard a lot of other things where a lot of other pro shops have finally gotten their Bionics as well. So that's a good sign. The back order wasn't too crazy. I heard Monsoons were on back order for some people for a little bit. I don't know if that's still true or not, or if Storm was able to catch up. So I ended up getting a Bionic myself. My first experience of it was absolutely terrible. I thought it was the worst ball ever for my first game or so with it. But the reason is that it came out of box at like 1500 grit. So if you guys didn't know, when a ball comes out of the factory, they use sanding pads to sand the bowling ball just like we do in a lot of ways. Just they have more, automated ways of doing it. And that's where bowling balls don't always come at the exact same surface every time at a factory. And my Bionic, it must have either missed a step or it was brand new sanding pads, whatever it was super dull. So the ball hooked super early. It was terrible on the shots that I was on. So I ended up bringing it up to 4,000. I threw it a little bit yesterday and now it's looking a lot better. But it does fit that gap between phase 2 and phase 2 Pearl or Rockstar and Rockstar Amp. There's a lot of people out there who are kind of calling BS on that from me. The reason, if you grab a fresh phase 2 and a fresh Bionic and a fresh phase 2 Pearl, then you can see where they all fit. That's where the Bionic, you can truly see where it fits. But if you use an old phase 2, yes, a Bionic is going to seem stronger. It's going to seem bigger, whatever it may be. But if you get a fresh phase 2, fresh Bionic, fresh phase 2 Pearl, they fit in that exact order of strength and with down lane motion as well. Bionic is just like a combination of the two, is what I've seen so far. Let's see what is all going on otherwise. Dasher down with Zach for postponing the stream. Oh, that's awesome. User, did Bowler Store make some of your apparel? Yeah, Bowler Store makes my current apparel right now. Some t-shirts, some crew necks, and some sweatshirts. Splits, what's going on? Brian, hello. Clark, Mike, if you've been a guest commentator on Bowl TV, raise your hand. That's awesome. It was surreal. It was super cool. It was very fun to be able to be on something that big. It was cool. It was very entertaining meeting, Jimmy and Chase, and I knew Mike beforehand, but still always hanging with Mike is an incredible time every time. Peter, what's going on? Gregory, good afternoon. Mr. Phil, Michael, Fef, you made it home already. I did. It was an hour-and-a-half drive. Traffic was gross. Traffic looked a lot grosser on the cams. Like I was only supposed to make it back at like 6:45, but luckily traffic wasn't that bad, so it ended up getting pushed up a little bit where it was clearing up enough. So the spot that I thought I would get stuck, I didn't actually get stuck in. Nomar, time to make myself a cup of tea. That's a great idea. Splits, my wife and I have just started bowling and are excited to join our first league. Nice. That is awesome. Good luck, guys. Remember, league is there for fun, especially the first couple weeks. Don't be too worried about it when you're getting in there. Don't feel like it's super competitive or cutthroat or anything like that. 99.9% of leagues out there are not cutthroat at all. So don't worry too much about how you do, how it goes, and all that. So bored. What is going on with the 10 goats? What is going on? 30,000, so close. We are about 500 followers away from 30,000 on TikTok. We're also like 100 away on Facebook to get to 20,000. So a lot of cool milestones, getting very close. Ed, I'm 75 and bought 3 new bowling balls last month. I hit the pocket around 11 miles an hour and medium rev rate. First ball is the Craze Tour, play up 10 board. Yeah, the swag balls work really well when you have a higher rev rate and a lower ball speed. So I had a couple more guys attack me on that one a little bit. There are some guys that really don't, there are some guys who really don't like my swag takes, but I mean, swag guys agree with a lot of them, where swag is going to be stellar if you are high rev rate, rev dominant bowler, and lower ball speed. But if you're balanced or speed dominant, the stuff just doesn't hook that much. I tried my Unreal Solid this weekend. My team ended up taking first place in our Minnesota State USBC tournament. So we have one more week left, but we're in first by a lot right now. And I tried the Unreal. It was, just basically a house shot on higher friction, and it just was not it. It was not making the corners like a normal Motive Storm Brunswick ball does. So I had to put it back in the bag, but I gave it another shot on something a little different than a house shot, and it just wasn't it. But if you're more rev dominant, that's where that ball's going to hook. I did see that guy over on TikTok who threw a jab at me saying, hey, the Unreal Solid actually does hook. Don't listen to people. There's a swag guy who posted that, and it showed him throwing like 13 miles an hour from gutter to gutter with that ball. It was kind of funny. Oh, that was humorous. Don, Mike Flanagan is awesome. Oh, he's the best. Lamont, what is going on? Any updates on the Swag Craze Tour Solid? If you're rev dominant, that's where that ball is going to be okay. I have had 5 people now come message me on various platforms saying that their Craze Tour doesn't hook. So, and I ask them a little more about like their bowling style, how they throw it and things, and all of them say the same thing. They're either balanced or speed dominant, and they say This ball is the least hooking ball I've ever thrown. And that was my experience with the Craze Hybrid, is that ball was the lowest hooking ball I've ever thrown. Like Hustle's out hooked it, Raw's out hooked it. It just didn't hook that much. And that's just what they are. The cover stocks are just, I don't know if they're a little harder, if they just don't hook as much as the other brands. So if you get a Craze Hybrid, any of the Craze series balls, just expect less hook than a lot of the others. Jaybird, what is going on? Mike, our EFX ZVL jersey was shipped today. Oh, yeah. Send me a picture when you get that one. That sounds awesome. BDGF, what's going on? Look forward to meeting you in Reno next week, except in brackets. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm in Reno next week. I'm going to be bowling at the USBC Open Championship. Sunday, I'm going to have videos about my nationals prep. I think I have my arsenal close to being lined up, but I will be out there on Tuesday, and I'll be out there Monday through Thursday, but I'm going to be bowling Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm at 11:30 Pacific time on Tuesday and 7 a.m. for doubles and singles on Wednesday. Very gross morning shift. I'm not very happy about that. But no, that's all right. It's not a big deal. It's like 9 o'clock my time, so it's not that serious. Chris Roberts, what's going on? Zero Mercy Pearl. Zero Mercy Pearl is not going to be mentioned much in the best bowling balls of 2026. Surprisingly, there just isn't much about, like, a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of it compared to something like a Full Effect even. It's a good ball for really heavy oil, but it's a little more niche. Keenan, deciding between a Rocket AI and a Hysteria, which one is better for rev dominant? I would go Rocket, because it's going to be a little cleaner and a little sharper for you, so you can get a little deeper with it. Javier, thank you for the follow. Hidden Leaf, I have a 380 rev rate, 17 miles off the hand. You have an IQ 2 or what grit? I would go 2000. 2000 is always the best play for that. Racer Guy, the Bionic, can you start on a fresh house shot at 4K or polish? Yeah, 4K, you definitely can. Chris, have I tried the Revenge Series balls? No, I do not receive any bowling balls, so I will not be buying a Revenge ball. I haven't heard much about them, I'll be completely honest with you. I've not heard of anyone who actually drilled one, especially even Brunswick guys who just haven't drilled one. A lot of guys, I mean, they have their vibes, so they don't need one, or they bought the danger zones, so they don't need one. So I haven't heard a whole lot about them. They look fine. I don't have too much of like an actual on-lane idea of where people are seeing it now that it's been out for a couple of weeks. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot on the Revenges. That's kind of a hard thing with radical stuff. You don't see it a whole lot on the lanes. Sam, thank you for the follow. Chanman, Widowmania or Full Effect? So the Full Effect is going to be a lot stronger. So it depends what kind of strength level you want out of your bowling ball. If you want a lot of strength, that's where you're going to go that Hammer Full Effect. If you want a little more angle down lane, a little weaker, that is where you're going to go with a Black Widow Mania. Revenge balls are definitely weak balls from Big Mike. Oh, absolutely. 100%. They are the definition of weak bowling balls. Yeah, that is exactly where they go. Brian Tucker over on Facebook. What's going on, man? What's going on? Don's bowling buddy is, I'm going with the Zero Mercy Solid, Full Effect, Hammerhead Solid, Gremlin, Hustle USA, and New Blue for a Colorado State tournament. Okay, there you go. That's not too bad. Black Cav, enjoyed you on Bowl TV. You were great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad. Yeah, let me know, like, honestly, what you guys thought of me on Bowl TV. I didn't talk about the channel all that much. It just didn't seem like the place in a lot of ways. I kind of went back and forth a lot with Jimmy on a lot of things. Mike was off doing other things for a while. So, yeah, it was super fun being able to be with him. That was my first time. I never met Jimmy before that, for the record. It was kind of like when I jumped in the booth for Inside Bowling with Mike. I didn't meet him before that. Same thing here with Jimmy. So that was just like initial first time talking. So hopefully it was okay. I feel like it went well, but please let me know if like there were pieces that you would have liked to see a little better or anything, because I'm always trying to improve, especially in those situations. I'm very new to that. I know I made a few mistakes of like who was actually unmuted and who wasn't, but otherwise, yeah, let me know. Let's see. Eminem, rumors of a new Stormball coming late May. I have not heard anything yet. I also do not hear any of that information early, so I am not sure. I would assume, I mean, the monsoon releases this Friday, so it wouldn't, let me look at the dates quick. It wouldn't surprise me if we had something on the 8th or the 15th that got announced, but I don't know if Storm would like have any slowdowns to like try to have something that comes out around the Bowl Expo time. So I don't know if they delay a couple of weeks to have something that releases, you know, closer to that July date or late June date. I'm not really sure. I'll be very curious to see. Mixtape, ended up going with an RST Hyperdrive Pearl. There you go. Great ball. Bowl Life for Junior Gold. How high friction are Bolero Blaine and Lucky Strike Lakeville? Very. They're both higher friction centers, especially Lakeville. Well, both Bolero Blaine and Lakeville are definitely higher friction. Almost everything in Minnesota outside of Cedarvale lanes is pretty high friction lane surfaces. So be ready for that. Michael DeMello, I cashed at a tournament. Nice. Congrats. Scotty Ogden, what's going on? Oi, I have an Ion Max and Optimum Idol Pearl. So it kind of depends. If you want a smoother ball lower than the Ion Max, that is where I'd recommend like a Rockstar, or you could even go with something like an Ion Pro Solid. It'll be a little quicker and a little weaker, but could pair really well there as more of like a house shot ball. Ion Max isn't the greatest house shot ball in the world because of how strong it is. That's anything in that category is usually tough for house shots. So that's where like an Ion Pro Solid could fit pretty well there, especially if you have two storm balls already. Gary's already pre-ordering the Monsoon. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome to. I'm very excited to see what that Monsoon does on the lanes. I'm very excited to see what it does. Blair Wagner are going to be out at Nationals at the same time. That's awesome. Perfect. Yeah, if you guys end up seeing me, not just Nationals, but at any tournament, come say hi. Come say hi. I'm going to be the abnormally tall one with the ZVL merch on, so never be afraid to come say hi whenever or wherever it is. Do not worry about that. Let's see. Ed, third ball is a replacement to a ball that has over 300 games on it. Awesome. Don, I struggled on the lanes last night. My swing had to have been a little off. I missed a couple spares and I couldn't string more than three strikes. So that's the hard thing with League is like, there are days where just physical game is not feeling good. And it doesn't mean you're doing bad. It doesn't mean like, oh, I got to go and like, I'm on the downward spiral. No, there are days where just little things can happen. You got less sleep the night before, didn't eat great, just out of whack for whatever reason. Your thumb swells a little bit, your fingers swell or shrink a little bit. There's a lot of things that can happen where a league night just isn't great. And that's honestly, if it happens once, you can write it off. If it happens 2 or 3 times, that's where like you might have to go in and start practicing. But for one time, not a big deal. Like I've had a couple iffy league nights the last couple times. I think I shot 606, 604, and I'm not too worried right now. I have more league tomorrow, so just hoping I can pick it up from there. So I see Kyle McManus is saying the Alert and the Evil Eye are balls of the year. Well, the Evil Eye is not. The Evil Eye is a tough one because it's already on sale. So people must not be liking it that much. I don't know. That ball went on sale super quick. That was also a 2025 ball, so that does not count. But no, I mean, it's that Evil Eye is still the weirdest thing to me. Like the gimmicky core, I thought was odd. People loved it because it was all black, had the cool logo, all that jazz. I was like, okay, maybe this ball's gonna pop off. And then I thought it was popping off. I thought sales were high. And then they announced the sale everywhere across the board for the Evil Eye. Off, it's $50 off. I thought that's weird. Why is this ball already being discontinued? Because when a ball gets on sale, generally it means the discontinuation is coming sooner rather than later. So it's odd. I don't know. That Evil Eye is still weird to me. Like, it's a good ball. I've actually looked at buying one for that 145 price or whatever it is right now. I just ended up not doing it. And so I'm kind of curious on that one. I don't know. Peter Deemer, Alert or the Rockstar Amped? Yeah, both of those balls have been money, in my opinion. Alert is probably going to be one of the best balls. I think that came out, though, last year, so it doesn't really count. I don't think that one counts at all. Outer Limits Black Hole, is it good? Yeah, the Outer Limits Black Hole has been really good for a lot of people. It's kind of iffy on like how it was immediately because nobody knew it existed, because they announced the Outer Limits Black Hole and then a week later they announced the Zero Mercy series and nobody cared about it. But once the Black Hole actually won a PBA title, then people started looking into it. And the PBA guys have been throwing it a little bit more. I see it as a Vaporize replacement is really the best spot that ball fits. It's like it's a stronger core Vaporize is probably the best way to look at it. That's a really good thing because Brunswick has nothing in that category. Storm has nothing in that category as that weak asymmetrical skid snap pearl ball. And I know the Outer Limits Black Hole is not a pearl ball, it's a shiny solid, but it does truly, it's best when shiny because it acts a little more like a pearl would with that skid snap fashion. So if you like the Vaporize, that might not be a terrible option. Alex, how would I get involved with Bowl TV? I sent Mike $1,000 for a as a bribe is what I did. So $1,000 straight to his bank account, and then that is how the deal happened. No, I'm kidding. No, I knew Mike from he reached out a couple of months ago when some stuff was happening in the industry, and just reached out to me wanting to just make a connection, which is super awesome. I met him formally down in Waterloo, Iowa, when Inside Bowling was down there for a Greater Iowa Bowling Association tournament. And I was able to go down there, meet him a little bit, and then he asked me to hang in the booth, and I was able to hang in the booth for a while, do some commentating. Then we've been talking a little bit on and off since then, and I let him know, hey, I'll be up at the World Series today for the PTQ to just watch and check out. My goal was going to be getting some clips of the players, just get some clips of the players who are in the PTQ. And then he asked me to jump in the booth after game one, and I was there ever since. So that is how the whole story happened. James, the Ion Max Pearl is a very strong hooking ball. Oh, 100% it is. That Ion Max Pearl is the second strongest shiny ball on the market. I would say Zero Mercy is a little bit above it. Mills Dude, ZMS ball of the year. Yeah. Oh, I mean, sales for them are insanely high. Absolutely high. I've seen that a lot. Hey, Sparta bowling tournaments. What is going on? Just got my concept for nationals. Any layout suggestions? Yes, 4-inch pin. Go with a 4-inch pin on that ball. You should not go longer with it. That ball barely flares anyway, so you want to maximize the flare potential. 4x35 is kind of the dual angle layout. So first angle doesn't matter a whole lot. I can go like 40. 40 by 4x35 is really the kind of the typical one that Storm is recommending for people. Of course, they're using VLS, so it'd be like 4x4 by, I think that would be like a 2, if I remember right from their system, from VLS. Pin buffer, I always forget a little bit. But yeah, something like that is generally best. Just do not go longer on that pin. The ball absorbs oil insanely quickly, but it does not flare almost at all. So you want it to maximize that flare just a little bit. Jeff bought a Rockstar amp today. Love to hear it. Gregory Green, 9-ball Arsenal is looking good right now. Nice. Gary Waddell started bowling 2 months ago. Already bought 9 balls. I have a problem. Hey, we don't call it a problem until you call it a problem, is how it works around here. We all enjoy bowling balls. And if you buy too many, sometimes things just happen. Sometimes your finger just accidentally clicks the checkout button and magically a bowling ball shows up. It's kind of crazy. It's weird how that happens. I don't know. Usually for me, like I just black out and bowling ball shows up. It's crazy. I was doing that with I was almost there with an alert. I was 1 click away a couple of days ago. I saw a decent deal of it and I was like, oh, I really want that ball. I am going to get an alert at some point because it really is that good. It's kind of like in the Bionics case. It's like that ball is that good where I needed to try it. I saw so many people loving it, so many people saying it's a must-have. So as someone in this space, I feel like I need to just to showcase, like, is it actually good and why is it good? Bowling is really bad where we like to be very subjective. Like when we say this is the best ball ever, like, but why? Why is it the best ball ever? And usually it's just, it's the best ball ever. So be ready. Yeah, that is something you should be ready for in the bowling world. So I want to be able to explain the why is a ball good? Why is a ball bad? Why should you go for that? Ignore that, whatever it may be. So alert is one that I really need to check out. BDGF 2103 at Pennsylvania State. That is awesome. You're worried it won't cash? Scores must be massive. That's crazy. Edward Bailey, what balls do you recommend for someone throwing 17 with 350 who has forward roll? Edward, there are a billion options. Coming in next week, I will have a rev dominant, speed dominant, and a balanced arsenal guide. So go check those out. Those should be able to help you out a little bit. Hyperdrive Pearl's the truth. Debating on getting a purple hammer, a concept for league play. You don't need either, James. There are almost no people on the planet who need a urethane or something like a concept for league. Now, concept has a little more usage because it's not urethane. It absorbs and it doesn't make the lanes completely disgusting for league. Because league, lanes start out super easy. You want to keep them super easy. But if you're throwing, urethane, if you're throwing the low flaring stuff too much, it's going to make them really, really gross. And then you're going to see scores do that. For league, what you want to see is scores start high, dip a little bit in transition, and then go back up to being high. So I don't recommend urethane or even concept or any of those for league. Now, if you want something super smooth down lane, that's where like you could go with a sanded, lower end, weaker reactive bowling ball, or a concept could be an option as well. Garrett's teaser for a new hammer ball. I heard it might be a new obsession. I don't think so. What Hammer likes to do is they have their main ball. That's the strong ball. So the Obsessions, they had the Obsession Tour Pearl, and the Obsession Tour. Then once they trashed all the Obsessions, they brought in the Envies. They had the Envy, they had the Pure Envy, they had the Envy Tour Pearl, Envy Tour. They trashed all those. Now we're on to the Zero Mercy series. So we have the Zero Mercy Solid Pearl. I would bet there's a Zero Mercy Tour that would come well before we ever get another Obsession ball. That would be my guess, but I have no idea. I don't get told anything. Currently watching you on my school's Promethean board. I don't know what that is, but that's sick. Hey, Timmy, bowling the 700 club tonight. What ball should I start with? Whatever, I'd say Summit Ascent. Whatever strikes the most on China. Whatever strikes the most on a really easy pattern. That's always my recommendation for any kind of house shot tournaments. Sean, what's a good pearl ball to complement the Vaporize in a 6-ball arsenal? You're probably gonna want to go something weaker. That's where like Crown Victory could be a really good option. I think Vaporize into Crown Vic is a great choice for you. Amanda Baker, what's up on Facebook? Do you know the difference between the Storm Power Glove or the Storm Power Throttle Glove? Those are things? I know about that one Storm Power Glove they talked about that they announced a while ago, but is there a Storm Power Throttle Glove? There is? Oh, no, they're the same thing. Power Throttle Glove is the same thing. No, it's just, it's supposed to like help keep your hand dull. Let's see. Big Mike. What is Big Mike mentioning? Okay. Let's see. CR, is Ebonite 1 Ovation a good league ball or benchmark ball? It's definitely going to be a lot stronger than that, especially as a two-hander. You better expect a lot of hook out of the 1 series. They are it is actually still, I think, the strongest core in bowling, if I remember right. I don't think anything has a higher overall total differential compared to those bowling balls, if I remember right. Let's see, Mr. Pop-Tart, looking for a strong, I love the name, looking for a strong, solid, reactive rec. At the moment, you favor your Hammerhead Pearl, a strong solid. So if you want something super strong, that's where like the Radical Evil Eye, Storm Equinox Solid, Motive Raptor Rain, like those kinds of bowling balls fit. Those stronger, dull, asymmetrical, or strong, symmetrical, solid bowling balls. Toot Newt. Okay. These names are top tier tonight. Well, 10 out of 10, everybody with the names tonight. Good job. I have a Columbia 300 Nitrous. I don't know what that ball is. Danger Zone Solid and a T-Zone. You need new bowling balls. Do you have, if it's an original Danger Zone, then yeah, that might be a bit old. I'm a balanced one-handed righty that uses my thumb. I can play different angles. So if that is an original Danger Zone, what I would recommend is just start with the new Danger Zone. Just start with that to kick it off and then go from there. User, my Sport Shot League was supposed to start tomorrow, but it got pushed back. It's unfortunate. G4, great to see you, ZVL. You seem really relaxed. Don't know how you do it. It's me neither. No. I mean, a lot of it is do what you can. Stress about the things that you can actually affect. And if you can't change it, don't worry about it. Elizabeth, is older equipment legal in USBC and PBA competition? So 90s bowling balls, they are legal in USBC competition, not in PBA competition. PBA competition, bowling balls, I believe the rule is bowling balls have to be within 2 years of when they, before they got discontinued. Like, so if there's a ball that came out for a year and the tournament that you're bowling is 4 years after that, then you can't throw that ball. So 90s stuff, very much not allowed. Andrew family, watch a couple games on Bowl TV. Great job. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Michael DeMello, I cashed out a tournament Saturday. I tied for 16th. Congratulations. Love to see that. Love to see that. My phone is blowing up and I don't know why. Let's see. RJ, does RecruitUS apply to athletes who are in college already? My daughter's bowling team suspended indefinitely and it's late to transfer. Yes, they can. And it's late to, yeah. So if you're in college and looking to transfer, they can help as well because they have connections to almost every college coach in the States. So yes, 100% go check out RecruitUS and they'll be able to help out. It'll be a little bit of a different case compared to what they're used to, but they can definitely do their best. Absolutely. Go check out RecruitUS. They're an awesome company. If you have friends, kids, nieces, nephews, family members who are high school bowlers looking to get recruited for college, RecruitUS is going to be your best bet. They are going to be able to help out. I can't read that name, but is it legal to use 5 holes? It is if you have a finger in every single hole. So every hole in a ball you have to have a finger in. Otherwise, it is an illegal ball for USBC competition. Brandon Chivalti, Track Kinetic, and Zero Mercy Pearl alike, or could I use both? Oh, they're definitely different enough. Definitely different enough. Also, I missed a couple of super chats earlier from Johnny with the $10 super chat. Johnny, thank you so much. I say I'm rev dominant now that I have a Phase 2 Hammer Effect Tour, Ion Pro Solid, medium sharp as a Rockstar, Amped Road Warrior. Do I have any gaps? Also, I don't have any weak smooth. Johnny, I know when we did our Arsenal review from Patreon, I would still go check that out. I don't think the gaps from there still apply. What you have are a bunch of medium-ish bowling balls, so I think you're A-okay on that medium category. So I think that is good to go. If you're rev dominant, I think a weaker smooth ball can be good, but you have an Ion Pro Solid, so you should be A-okay there. Donnie Saunders going to a military tournament. What 3 bowling balls would you take? What kind of pattern do they use? What kind of bowling balls do you have, and how do you throw it? Let me know that. Larry Tripp, what's going on? Is the Monsoon stronger than a Hype Solid? Ooh. I would say yeah, is what I would say. Let me look up that Hyped Solid again real quick. I forget what the cover was. It's VTC Solid. So I would say yes. What is that? Pimp, thank you for the 250 joules, gifting a Laughing Disco. What is that on? What platform is that from? Hold on. What the heck is that? We're learning. I don't know what that is. Thank you. Might have been Facebook? I don't know. Thank you so much, man. Mr. Young with a $10 super chat. Been trying out. I'll be getting to that. Oh, well, let's get back to that Hyped Solid. I saw a squirrel and I ran off. Yes, it's probably going to be very similar, honestly, in terms of strength level with that Hyped Solid. I don't see any reason it would be like uber stronger or uber weaker. So I think that'll be good. Mr. Young been trying out Sarge Easter as a no-thumb one-handed bowler. Helps me hold the ball a little bit easier. Okay, nice. And Michael DeMello with 200 sunshines for 200 joules. Thank you. I don't know what that is. Did a new system add GIFs? I didn't see that ever happen. That's kind of cool. Huh. But let's see. Have a bubblegum vibe and an axe for house. What ball should I get next if you're on the Sarge Easter one hand, no thumb? Those are both weaker bowling balls. If you want to stay on the weekend, I would go, a Monsoon could work well, but you could even go a step up with like a Brunswick Alert, could fit really well in that arsenal. Then you have something a little bit smoother down lane. Then you have the bubblegum that's a little bit quicker, and then the axe for spare. So that's pretty cool. Oh, it is YouTube. Oh, sweet. Cool. YouTube added gifting. Totally did not, yep, YouTube added a while back. God, I'm out of the news. Dang. They're trying to be like TikTok. Good for them. David Ham, big fan of Zach. Thank you so much. A trophy was out for surgery for 2 years. Just got back for league this past season. Will be a new ball I could replace a Zen with. Eternity and Idle Pearl, my transition. So if you need, the Idle Pearl is generally in that Zen spot, but otherwise Rockstar Amped is the current Zen, in my opinion. Let's see. Green is the Deviate Troublemaker, strong, smooth, or medium smooth. Definitely medium smooth. Aaron, when you're talking about teams on Monday, are you referring to league or more higher end events? I'm mainly referring to like tournaments, but it can also work for league. There can also be some similarities with how to team bowl in league as well. Let's see. We are a little bit behind on chat. So quick reminder, everybody, we are Summit Ascent, Tim. I just am seeing that. I'm about 20 minutes late. Quick reminder, we are live on 4 different platforms. So I have 4 different live chats that I'm working through right now. So if I miss your comment and I haven't answered it yet, just wait a couple of minutes. And if I don't hit it yet, just retype it. Don't spam, but make sure to put it in again, and then I'll be able to hit it. So apologies for missing some. Garbage Truck W, Minnesota, where you're from. I'm North Central. So I'm in southern Minnesota. I am in close to the border of Iowa, but not quite there, kind of by Rochester. Balrog, do you have a paid thing where I can send you videos and recommend a ball? Yes. So I do have now an official Patreon. So on Patreon, what I have are a couple different tiers. You can spend a little bit of money where I can do an arsenal review for you. You send me your arsenal, all the bowling balls you have. You send me what you bowl, your skill level, and send me some clips of you actually bowling, and I can give you some suggestions on what to do with your current arsenal, what bowling balls to get next, and a little bit more information. Those are about 10-ish minutes videos. If you want true coaching, I also offer a coaching session as well. That one is $25. So I want to give you guys affordable options to be able to get ideas and tips and tricks and coaching and all that jazz. So I think that's something that the bowling world has been missing for a little bit. So I hope I can bring that pretty well. Pimp, have you used the RST Hyperdrive Solid? Is it good for League, or should I go with a weaker ball? I have not seen a whole lot of success from the Hyperdrive in League solely because of how strong it is. If you're on the speed dominant side, that's where that ball can be good. But if you're not speed dominant, I recommend some weaker equipment. That's when weaker stuff is going to be best. Greg, Black Widow Poison Pearl versus Black Widow Mania. What's your take outside of price difference? I know very little about that Black Widow Poison Pearl, just that it is a smoother pearl ball. So I would recommend Black Widow Mania. Fits more of that asymmetrical pearl category a little bit better. X in the Pit has reviews on both Revenges at the same time. One did the pearl, one did the solid. Yeah, they've been putting out reviews for everything. I do want to talk about one of the things that they did just to clear up some space. They did something on heat on bowling balls, and I want to... They missed a couple things, so I want to mention those sometime a little bit later, because there's a little issue that they kind of ignored, but was that caused a bigger issue and everything. Ryan Brem, Big Rich. Should I buy a Bionic from Big Rich? Is the Bionic... Oh, that's what you're saying. Is the Bionic good? Yeah, Bionic is very good. It fits kind of in a medium smooth category. It's below some of your big duller balls, but above all of your shiny balls. So it depends if you need something in that gap or not. What do you think is Celtic? What do you think is the difference between the IQ Winner and the Sunstorm? Do you think Storm will ever make an IQ Tour with a stronger cover? I don't think they'll ever make an IQ with a stronger cover. I think IQs are kind of stuck now to a regular IQ Tour and then shiny IQ Tour, and that's the main two they have in the lineup. The IQ Winner is a better ball. The Sunstorm is arguably one of the worst balls Storm has made. It was a limited edition ball, and it was more for the callback than anything, but that was probably one of the most negatively reviewed bowling balls in a while. So the Sunstorm was tough because it was such a strong and big cover and such a tiny core. The IQ Winner, it's an overseas ball. It has a weaker cover yet, but it's still stronger than the IQ Tour, but it still meshes really well together. Big Mike, we hit Fire Phoenix. How close is a Hyperdrive Pearl and Rocket AI? I'd say there's a ball in between them both. I think the Hyperdrive is going to be a bit away from the Rocket. I think they can complement each other well, but they do not like cross paths in a bag. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. Traveling down the road, my team finished first in Sweepers Monday. Congratulations. That's awesome. We're nearing the end of the league season, so I know a lot of you are going through in those championships or things like that. So if you ever won any of those, congratulations. That's awesome. End of the league season, always fun for those final roll-offs. It's kind of the time where like it's actually true head-to-head, and you're not just bowling against yourself, which is really fun. That gets to be pretty entertaining. Don, I think the Vex being asymmetrical is overtaking the Evil Eye. Super symmetrical may not have been the best idea. The super symmetrical stuff kind of was a little gimmicky. I've said gimmick too many times. There wasn't a big, like, deep dive on super symmetric and why it is better or worse, I think was the issue. So I know, like, the snapshots were super symmetrical, but nobody cared about it being super symmetrical. And I think a lot of the things to look at is... like for those kinds of things, like we can go super symmetric, we can go, I mean, the AI core in some ways, like there's some really cool, grandiose things with them. But remember, marketing is very big in bowling. And a lot of people, they don't dive too deep on bowling balls. Like Joe from your Friday Night League isn't going to care about a super symmetrical ball versus an asymmetrical, but he hears super symmetrical and it's like, that sounds pretty cool. It's like when you hear, you know, something has whatever extra hitting power and all that. It's like, that doesn't matter, but it sounds cool if you don't look into it. So that's kind of what the super symmetrical has been to me. But you're right. The Vex probably took any attention and hype that the Evil Eye was getting because they're close-ish together. They fit in the same bag, but they're close-ish. Real J Fox, best asymmetrical hybrid right now. There aren't many hybrid ASIMs. I think the Full Effect is really good right now. Otherwise, I'm trying to think of others. Paragon Shadow was really good. Max Effect is not great. Does Storm even have one? Viking's really good. Motive does not have one at all. So I think those are about the only options. Just kind of sad. Edward Bailey, we hit. Mike, everyone, Zach came in second at the Bowlers LTD YouTube channel challenge. Lost by 23 in a tiebreaker to Brad and Kyle. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So it was Bowlers LTD was running a March Madness of YouTubers, and they're pitting them against each other. And I beat, who did I all beat? I beat Daria. I beat Inside Bowling. I should have bragged to Mike about that today. I beat Darren Tang, and then I tied with Brad and Kyle in it. I don't know how many votes there overall were in the competition, if it was anything too big, but huge thank you to anybody that voted for me in that competition. I upset everybody, which was kind of funny. That was kind of crazy. So huge thank you to all of you guys. Bird, for junior gold, should I go with a black hammer or a concept? That's the hardest question. I would bring both if you own both. If you're only buying one, I think concept is safer for the rules this year. Because of how the rules are in junior gold, it's best to have a concept in case you do make that match play. Now, it's only like 16 kids in total make match play, so it's very tough to get there. But if you do, you don't want to go and buy another bowling ball while you're there. That option will be in the cards. I guarantee they have so many concepts and so many NU 2.0s on standby for that event. But you don't want to go spend another $200+ on a bowling ball. That's just not the most fun thing to do. And it wouldn't surprise me if there are markups for it because it's a ball that's in high demand. Ryan, let me see that quick. Ryan Brem, other than the new batch of IQ Tours and Phase 2s stink. No, the new ones are really good. The 2026s are fine. The 2025 Phase 2s were not as great. Tristan, have any idea why the Zero Mercy Solid works so well for me? Pro Shop guy tried to talk me out of it, but I'm able to control it very well. I don't have to move past the 20 board. That's because it burns up. That's because it hooks too early. So I guarantee you can hit the pocket a lot with it. It's just going to be how well do you carry with it. So the big thing with a bowling ball as strong as the Zero Mercy Solid is it's going to hook so early that you have to play like shallower on the lane. So if you're a righty, you have to play further right with it. It doesn't want to cover boards. It burns up its energy too quickly and too early. So that's where that ball is going to be good from playing straighter, but it's going to burn up so quick that it's going to have no energy when it goes towards the pocket and makes its actual overall movement. And then you're not going to carry that great. So you're going to probably hit the pocket a lot. It's kind of the idea with a short pattern where you want those super big, super strong bowling balls just for control, but you're not going to carry as well as one of the big issues as like a pearl ball that's going to conserve some more energy and splash some more pins around. Why did I call the Ebonite the One Ovation a unicorn ball? Did I? I didn't think I called it I don't know if I called it a unicorn ball. I think I probably did because there are no cores like it in bowling. It's just so strong. Might have been why. I don't remember saying that though. DL, my coach thinks my average will go up by only using 2 strike balls and a spare ball. I'm speed dominant, one-handed righty. Maybe, possibly. Daniel Luke posted a review on the Covert and gave it very high marks. Do you think it's worth pre-ordering? I hate pre-order bowling balls. I'm going to be honest and blunt. I hate the pre-order bowling balls because like right now you generally had to already pre-order to get one. And the reviews going out now are going to raise those pre-orders by a lot because people are going to see it go down the lane. It looks cool. There are replacements for it if you don't want to spend $220. That's my biggest problem with that ball is like, I watched Hicklin's review and it looked kind of bad. Luke's review I haven't checked out as much. Hype's review it looked like every other ball. It looks fine. What did I say there? You said it's a unicorn space on your chart. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looks good, but I think there's other bowling balls that do the same thing. Don't fall for the FOMO if you don't want to spend the $220. Is kind of the big one with that ball. Pre-order balls, they feed off of FOMO is what they do. So the You know, the Jackal EJ from last year, the Covert from this year, the identities from last year, they feed off of fear of missing out. That's what a lot of things from other, like, outside of bowling do, is their goal is FOMO, because FOMO is one of the most powerful things in marketing, and it works so well. Limited quantities or even fake limited quantities sell out like crazy. So that's kind of the goal right now, is what is going on with that ball. Don't fall into the FOMO. Look at it with an educational eye. Don't look at it with, ooh, if I don't get it now, it's gone forever. It's not that big of a deal. There's other balls that do the same thing. Same with that Jackal EJ. One Ovation that we were talking about does very similar things to the Jackal EJ in a lot of ways, just by switching the surface around a little bit. Is it a must-have? No. Do I think it'll work for you, Daniel? It'll work. It just depends if you want to spend $220. We're talking about the Covert EJ, the brand new Motive pre-order only bowling ball that's coming out in like a month or so. Birdie, should I get a ball stronger than the Origin EX 350 rev race for sports shots? You absolutely can. The Origin EX has a weaker cover. If you do, Equinox Solid and Ion Max if you're sticking with Storm like that. Let's see. Green. Do you think people buy balls too often instead of trying to do upkeep on old balls? Yeah, well, yes, people buy more bowling balls than they need. That's a given. That's me as well, because it's more entertaining. Getting a new bowling ball gives you that little bit of that high and like excitement, which is totally fair. I will never bash someone for that. But like, if you want, there's gaps in an arsenal that you need filled, especially if you bowl tournaments. There are must-have gaps that you need filled. Now, do you need 4 bowling balls in the same gap? Generally, no. Are there bowling balls like I have bought that were supposed to fit a gap and they didn't actually fit there that well? Yes. Or that I didn't need a gap filled for and I just wanted it because it looked cool? Also, yes. I think it really depends. It kind of depends how you're doing the game of bowling. Like, are you a house shot bowler who just wants to buy fun stuff? Then go nuts. Then I don't think you're buying too often. And I don't know about upkeep. Upkeep is kind of tough. Bowling balls do have a lifespan. They can never live forever. The hype guy said Covert was giving him Black Widow vibes. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, no, so overall, no, I mean, yes and no. It depends who you are. Alert is, if the alert is on sale, get it. G. Bryant, what's going on? What's a ball similar to the EJ VIP? So balls that are similar, Raptor Rain is going to be the best option for a similar bowling ball to that new Covert VIP. Otherwise, what are some other good ones? Equinox Solid is going to be a fantastic one. I think the Transformer Pin Down is going to be very, very close to it. Otherwise, Vengeance is going to be pretty close. It'll be a little weaker, a little quicker. Brunswick, you could go Evil Eye. I think it's going to be fairly close to it. It's going to be a little quicker down lane, but there are a lot of balls that fit that spot. It isn't the Covert, just like almost any ball in the market, isn't the only ball in its category. There are very few bowling balls that are truly one of a kinds on the market. I made a video about there are no must-have bowling balls. People didn't like it that much. I got a little bit of hate for that one. But there aren't. Every bowling ball does get replaced at some point with something else. If there's a spot in the bag that needs to get filled, the ball companies are really good at filling that gap for you. Zachary Cardenas, what's going on? Let's keep on trucking. I'm a little bit behind on chat. I'm about 20 minutes behind, so apologies, everybody. Going to go through them as much as I can. We still have to talk about best bowling balls of 2026. I have a couple of hot takes that we need to get through. So I'm going to try to get through like 5 more minutes of comments, and then we're going to get into best balls of 2026. Make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to follow and like if you haven't yet. But let's keep on trucking. So user on YouTube is asking, does tour at the end of a ball name mean anything? Yes. The word tour at the end of a ball name was something that the company started doing a while ago, which showcases that they took a core, they removed pieces of it to give it a much lower differential. So the best example here is for recent bowling balls is going to be the Hammer Effect versus the Hammer Effect Tour. The Hammer Effect is like a 248 RG and like an 050 differential, or it's a medium to high differential ball. The Effect Tour, what they did is they took out a couple chunks of it and then it lowered the differential down to like in the 030s. So a tour bowling ball just has a lower differential, and generally they pair that tour bowling ball with a really strong and really dull cover stock. Effect Tour, really strong, really dull cover stock. IQ Tour at the time was a dull and stronger cover stock. What are some other options out there? Obsession Tour was the same thing. Black Widow Tour is very similar. That one's a little different because it gave it that hybrid cover stock. It's a little cleaner. That's why that one's a little more hit or miss for some people. But yes, usually that's the case. Now, the Craze Tour from Swag did not do this. That was just a marketing thing. The Craze Tour is the exact same core as the Craze Series bowling ball. So that's the only time really in history that a tour level bowling or a tour bowling ball does not change the core of an already existing core. That is the only time that's ever happened. So generally, that is what it means for a tour level bowling. Let's keep going. BDG makes sense for Hammer, a Zero Mercy Tour. Yeah, it would not surprise me. I don't know if they'd release it now, though. If they do release a Zero Mercy Tour, it would be like September, maybe August. It wouldn't be May because too many people have already bought their bowling balls for the year. And May, June, July are usually ball sales just kind of do that. Views on YouTube, ball sales, all of that just kind of plummet. Storm gloves. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The power throttle gloves are just different colors. That makes sense. Bowling Bad 2. What's going on? Late to the party, was at practice. You didn't miss a whole lot. We were a little bit late today because I was guest commentating on Bowl TV. Big thank you again, everybody who checked out Bowl TV at that time. I don't think I'll be in the booth the rest of the weekend, the way it sounds. So I think Randy is coming on Friday is what Mike and Jimmy were saying. So you'll have Randy Peterson in the booth on Friday and so on. I think all of next week pretty much because the World Series just never ends in bowling. It's awesome. James, my teammate likes to bowl with his pitch black. Should I tell him to stop or join him with a purple? I would never really tell people to quit. It's just if they want higher scores, usually you need to get out of urethane for house shots. So that person probably would do better with just like a reactive ball that's a little smoother. They probably carry a little better. So I wouldn't tell them to quit. But yeah, if the carry down gets to be too bad, you can join them with a purple hammer. Generally, the idea for urethane is if you can't beat them, join them. Where if everybody's throwing urethane around you, you kind of have to be in urethane to really succeed or do really well. Power Glove is for Nintendo. Is it actually? That's awesome. Peyton Sharp, I plan on getting back into League and Junior Gold. You have a radical max bias. Would the Venom Shock and Purple Hammer make a good arsenal? Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you're bowling Junior Gold, that's where the Purple Hammer will be best. Yeah. Kelly over on Facebook, you have a Bionic and a Tour V1. You're thinking you need a solid and pearl. So I would not treat bowling balls as like I need a solid, a hybrid, and a pearl. Just don't think of it that way. I would see the Black Widow Tour as a solid bowling ball, and I would also see the Bionic as a solid bowling ball. I would recommend something shinier and sharper down lane. That is where like a Crown Victory or a Rocket AI is going to fit. So that's going to be a ball down from your Black Widow and from your Bionic. King Richie, you still doing the personal Arsenal reviews? So I am putting out a video soon. Oh, RecruitUS is in the Facebook chat. What's going on? Go check them out. Make sure to go follow them. RecruitUS over on Facebook. And then they have a website as well. Go check that out. RecruitUS, go to the bowling section. They have a couple different sections, but go check out the bowling. That's what we're here for. No, King Richie, what I'm going to do is I have an automated way to rate your arsenal, just know where bowling balls fit. And then on my Patreon, I offer a way that I go into deep dives of the reviews. It's deeper than what I was doing on YouTube for that Patreon section. What are your thoughts on Alex Horton winning the TOC? I think it is wildly shocking how well the rookies are doing this year, but also this is kind of the point in bowling where we've reached a spot that kids are actually specializing in bowling. You know, 10 years ago, kids weren't just specializing in bowling that often with this really hardcore training to make it to the PBA. We're seeing that in other sports. We've seen it for a while. I know when I was in high school I graduated in 2015. When that is really when kids started specializing in sports a lot more. You weren't seeing kids in multiple sports as much anymore. Like I was in basketball and baseball, and that was surprising for some of the kids I trained with, especially in the summers for basketball. They were shocked like, oh yeah, I don't play anything else. That's becoming a thing now, but for bowling as well. You have a lot of bowlers who play no other sports. They are just bowlers 365 days of the year, and they grind it. They get to their 10,000 hours a lot quicker. For anyone who doesn't know, there's like I don't know if it was what the saying is, but basically once you hit 10,000 hours in something, that's really when you truly get to master it. And these kids are getting there faster than anybody in history, which is why we're seeing so many of them come up and be so mentally tough. Because it is hard to be mentally tough in in bowling, especially with the things that these guys are saying and talking about during competition. They're saying back at you and the jawing and all that. Like, there's a lot of things we don't hear about in the bowling world that are said on a bowling lane. Aaron Springborn, can you please further explain upon a bowling ball age for USBC, but more the PBA? Can you throw a phase 2 from 2016? Yes, yeah, on the PBA tour, you can still throw, maybe not. I don't know exactly the PBA rules. I'm not sure if like a 2016 phase 2 can be thrown. I think you probably would have to get a new one. So that's kind of their idea for it. All right. What we are going to do, we are at about that point where we are going to start talking about, and RecruitUS through the link in there as well. Awesome. We are going to talk about some of the best balls of 2026. So I want to get into a little bit what some of those are. We will get back to the Q&A in probably about 5 or 10 minutes. So I will be going through more comments in just a couple of minutes. But I do want to talk about some of the best balls you should keep an eye out for so far in 2026. I want to go through all 3 companies. What are some of the better balls as of now? Now, of course, 2026 is only a third of the way over. So we do not have all of the best balls of the year. But here are some of the top ones. We're going to start with Storm. We're going to go with all 3 companies. Storm, by far and away, we have the Bionic is number 1. Storm has had a crazy good year. They have had a phenomenal year in bowling ball releases. I'm very happy with what Storm has put out this year. In past years, they kind of had some stinkers mixed along with the bunches, but this year really seems like a really stellar year for them. We started with the Transformer. Very, very good ball. It's getting ignored now quite a bit, but it has been a fantastic ball. The Vengeance came out. We had the, of course, Bionic, which we'll talk about in a minute. We had the Gremlin Tour X, Ion Max Pro, or Ion Max Pearl. There we go. We had a lot of really good balls from them, but Bionic, number 1, far and away, is the ball of the year right now. It has won the most titles on the PBA. It's probably been drilled more than any other ball on the PBA truck right now. I can't confirm any of that. But it seems like the Bionic is just the top ball that Storm guys are throwing. There's a lot of different styles coming together. Just excited about how good that ball is. It is a quicker phase 2. A quicker and weaker phase 2 is really where it fits. And it fits a lot of house shots. It fits a lot of sport shots. It's a ball that fits really well. Stronger cover, medium core. Those are generally like the best of the best bowling balls. So Bionic, I think, is number 1 ball of the year right now for 2026. I think if we start from January 1st, Bionic is that number 1 bowling ball. Then looking at a couple of their other ones, I think Ion Max Pearl comes in at number 2. Ion Max Pearl is a really good ball for a lot of people. It's only good on heavier conditions and longer patterns, things like that. But the Ion Max Pearl is definitely the number 2 ball for Storm for 2026. It is exactly what you want from that big, strong, asymmetrical Pearl bowling ball. That is a spot that a lot of people miss in their bag, and they get too weak of a ball. Like the Viking is a really good, strong, and sharp bowling ball, but the Ion Max Pearl is a step above it, is going to be a step above it in terms of strength. That is their number 2 ball of the year. Let's go over to Motive. Motive has not had as good of a year because they just haven't released a lot of bowling balls. So they've released the Apex Jackal, which overall was seen as not great, especially with all of the hubbub about it around the core and the reviews all coming out so negative. And overall, it's just that core probably won't get used again is what I'm seeing. So Apex Jackal just did not start too hot. After that, we did have the Evoke, correct? I am seeing Evoke Hysteria on 3/19. Did they have a February release? Yeah, Super Sport. Super Sport was around that time. Where is my Super Sport on this list? Did I not add a Super Sport? That's kind of funny. I didn't add a Super Sport. Super Sport and was fine. It's basically just, I mean, the question of the Super Sport is, would you rather have that or a Venom Shock? So, Evoke Mayhem has been pretty positive. It's just a brand new Evoke, which is really good. So I think that's been a good option. And then the Venom Hysteria has definitely been Motive's ball of the year so far. Venom Hysteria has been a really well-liked ball. It is a smoother pearl ball, which is good because there aren't many smooth pearls out there, but it is a good Venom Shock pearl. Venom Shock pearls were not great to start. Fatal Venom, Venom Shock Pearl, both really bad. Well, seen as less good compared to other options, we'll say. Hyper Venom comes around. It was overall seen as a decent piece from a lot of people. And then finally we had the Venom Hysteria, which has been seen as a very good bowling ball. So that's been really good to see. Sorry, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of this person who is trying to sell viewers. There we go. Okay, then let's go over to Brunswick. This is kind of the tougher one. Let me switch so I can actually filter my list a little bit. I have a list of all bowling balls right now. Let's do a filter by value. Oh no, filter by condition. Survey says date is after. Go 1/1/2025. Bop. They have had, oh no, 2026. I'm dumb. I'm the guy putting 2025 on everything yet. There we go. Okay, there we go. We have Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty, Spartan, Deep Impact, Synthesis, Combat Hybrid, Outer Limits Black Hole, Full Effect, Strategy, Vex, GB5 Hybrid, Hammerhead Pearl, Stealth Mode Hybrid, Crown Vic Pearl, Double Trouble, Connect Sapphire Ice. Oh my god, Dark Side of Curse, Revenge Solid, Revenge Pearl, and a Purple Hammer 78D. Oh my god, they have a lot of bowling balls that are coming out, man. And we had the Piranha, and we had the Street Rally, which already are discontinued. This is only non-discontinued stuff, which is pretty much everything. Overall on this list, best bowling ball out there is the Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty. Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty has really lived up to the hype of the ball. The 3.0 is good. The cover stock absorbed oil a little, like it just kind of got bad quick. The Dynasty fixed that problem and is just a really good Black Widow. If you like Black Widows, the Dynasty is going to be one of the best ones you throw. So I think that is the #1 ball from Brunswick right now to look out for. Outside of that one, I think the Full Effect is one of the top couple balls as well. This is probably the best big asymmetrical shiny ball from them. So if you have a chance at a Full Effect, it's a good option. I highly recommend taking the polish off. I had the polish on mine and it sucked. Terrible ball. Once I took the polish off, brought it to 3000 grit, it was actually really good. So I think Full Effect fits on there. Then outside of that, Dark Side Curse comes in at #3 as well. That one's very much being slept on. The Dark Side Curse is very much being slept on right now. It is a weaker, smoother bowling ball. So if you're rev dominant, that is a great, great option for you. That is actually going to get through the front part of the lane and not be too angular down lane. So I think Dark Side Curse is going to be a top 3 on there. Other good ones, Outer Limits Black Hole has been really good, like we talked about. Synthesis is really getting slept on. It's a good ball, just no one cares about it. I love the Spartan. I think the Spartan is a fantastic ball. Not many people otherwise agree with me, but I personally, just from my own subjective use of it, the Spartan has been awesome so far. Otherwise, we talked about the Revenges. We don't know anything. Crown Vic Pearl is fine. I'd recommend a Crown Victory instead. Stealth Mode Hybrid has been really good. Hammerhead Pearl is eh. Vexed is okay, is good. It's a good ball. Strategy seems all right. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. Deep Impact, most people forgot about. Purple Hammer 78D, I just don't really recommend for most people. So that is really everything from Brunswick and from all the brands. Those are really the best ones. Bionic is #1. I think Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty comes in close behind it as well. Taking polish off just keeps it from going sideways down lane. Yep. Taking polish off has it hook sooner and then be smoother down lane is where that fits best. That is what happens. So surface on a bowling ball is actually very black and white. Most things in bowling are not black and white at all. Very little in bowling is. There's always a gray area in bowling, except for surface. A ball that is more dull, hooks earlier, and is smoother than a ball that is shiny. Just that one's pretty simple, which is great. That one is very simple, which is good. Bowling with the FEF, about 20 more minutes. Thank goodness. 20 more minutes for what? I missed that. What happened, FEF? I did not see what you are talking about. Nope. Huh. Can I click on you and it can show me? Oh, it does. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, you're still not home yet. Oh, wow. You had some bad traffic. That's unfortunate, man. That is unfortunate. What do you guys think? What are your guys' favorite balls of the year so far? What do you think? I know a couple of you had some comments earlier for 2026. So Alert doesn't count. Evil Eye doesn't count. The Zero Mercies don't count. Next Factor, which nobody said, doesn't count anyway. But what are your guys' thoughts for some of the best balls of the year? What do you guys think? I'm torn between Spartan and Synthesis's ball as a sleeper ball of the year. That's totally fair. The Synthesis is one that no one cares about. It's kind of like the Criterion in my head. The Criterion was a really good ball, but brother, I just said no Alert. Mike, no. I'm seeing Vengeance on there, Evoke Mayhem on there. The Widow Dynasty is really good, as we talked about. What grit surface should I put on my concept? If you have a concept, 1,000 grit is my personal favorite. If you're using it on a house shot, you can go up to like 3,000, and it's still okay if you're a higher rev rate. Just got a Vexed, seems good. Yeah, I didn't mention the concept. In a ball of the year, I never really recommend the niche balls. Like, I see concept, purple hammer, and any tinks or any urethanes just as a little too niche. I don't think they ever really win ball of the year. I think purple hammer is about the only exception, like the original, not the 78D. 78D is not as good. The 78D purple hammer is basically just a crown 78. That's all it is. But I think, yeah, I never really use the urethanes in that category. Let's see. Pajama Pally, did I miss your best balls of the year so far? We actually just went through it, but for a TLDR is Bionic, Black Widow Dynasty, and then I think I had Ion Max per. The 3 spot is hard. Bionic and Black Widow Dynasty, I think, are a guaranteed 1-2. Outside of that is kind of tough. I think Venom Hysteria, yeah, deserves a spot as well right now, is where I would put it. Let me keep catching up a little bit. Zephyr picked up a Venom Hysterian, been really enjoying it. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Anthony Ruddick, which one is better for burnt oil, Entity or Viking? Definitely the Viking, 100%. Robert Pruitt, did I bowl in Reno? I bowl in Reno next week. I will be bowling next Tuesday and Wednesday. So in 1 week, I will actually be done with nationals. I leave on Monday. I'll have a video coming out Sunday with a little more of my prep and my arsenal and what I'm planning on. So I'll be keeping updates everywhere. Oh, come on, TikTok. I'll be keeping updates everywhere on where you can watch the scores if you'd like. Absolutely. Let's see, top 3, we have, yep, my favorite is a Black Widow Dynasty, but it's hard to throw on a house shot. Yeah, the Dynasty is a lot stronger than a lot of people expected it to be. It's a lot sharper down lane as well, and that's just the new cover stocks that are coming out of the Brunswick plant. I'm really noticing their new covers absorb oil insanely quickly. Absurdly quickly, they're absorbing oil, so they're a lot stronger out of box, and then they tame down after a couple of games. That's what I've noticed with a lot of them, just with my personal experience, is that they start off absurdly strong, and then they calm down little by little as they get some oil in them to a nice, happy place. A very, very nice, happy place. A lot of the Brunswick stuff has been really good lately. 63A, I wanted to say I greatly appreciate you, your channel, positivity, and professionalism. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I recently dropped to 14 due to injury. Should I lower my drilling angle and pin to pap to match my 15 ball roll? So if your ball speed increases, I would actually increase your pin to pap a little bit, make it a little bit longer. A Wood, I'll be subscribing to your coaching. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. 2-finger, no thumb due to back issues. I had to shift from 2-hand to 2-finger. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can help with that. Terry Polson, my vote goes for the Nebula and the Bionic. Nebula doesn't count because that was last year, but Bionic, yeah, absolutely. Haven't bought a 26 ball, however, looking for a Venom Hysterian, the GB5 Hybrid. I see a question of wipe after every ball. Yes, every time you throw a shot, I recommend using a chamois. It is the best way to keep a bowling ball's motion as consistent as possible. So you need to be wiping off a ball to keep it consistent. The longer the oil stays on the ball, the more inconsistent it's going to be down lane. So after every shot, if you want the best reaction possible, just use a chamois, wipe off the oil. It's a good pre-shot routine to have. Generally, you have time once the ball comes back from the ball return to wipe it off and be A-okay. So I recommend that. It's the best way to go at it. Just to get you that actual consistent ball reaction. You don't want to keep oil on the ball for too long. Also, it's going to help the ball stay good longer. The best longevity tip I can give you is wipe off your ball after every single shot. Then there's less oil being absorbed into your ball, and the less oil being absorbed into your ball means the longer it's going to be good. Remember, bowling balls are sponges. They are just sponges. The cover stocks are sponges, so they absorb oil that's on them. The less oil you can get it to absorb, the longer that sponge is going to be a good. If you make the sponge fill up quicker, it's going to be worse quicker. So be aware of that. Greetings from Fresno. What's going on, man? Ooh, good question. If I could pick one retired ball and one current ball to have, what would it be? Retired ball. Scorpion Low Flare. One current ball, I would go, what's my favorite right now? Rockstar Amped. Rockstar Amped is definitely my favorite ball right now. AB, how do I feel about the hammer full effect? That is a really good, big, strong ASIM shiny ball. So if you want something for the longer patterns, or if you want something that's going to be a little quicker down lane, but still super strong core, that's where the full effect is going to be best. 638, thoughts on ball raffles? Worth the gamble or just save and shell out MSRP? I'm very against bowling ball raffles online. Bowling ball raffles at tournaments, go nuts. I am not a raffle guy. I would rather just spend the money to buy what I want. But I love the raffle idea because it usually goes for a good cause. So I do know a lot of people that actually save money on bowling balls by just entering raffles. Every time they're at a tournament, they put in 20 bucks into a raffle, and within 7 times they hit and get some kind of like $200 bowling ball. So they actually save a little bit of money if they're putting in money on raffles. So I think it's a good call if you want to do that. Otherwise, I'm not a big raffle guy personally. That's just how I am, though. I'm not a big gambler in that way. I have seen this question, Ro, come up a couple of times. So I know you mentioned the rule of 31 is obsolete. What is your board number again? Yes, I think the rule of 31 is a little bit off in a lot of ways. Like if you're bowling on a 45-foot pattern, having your breakpoint be 14 isn't really a thing anymore. Most people use like 9 or 10. So I think everything just needs to shift a little bit further to the right and just be, I think it'd be a little more realistic on it a lot of the time. Like a 36-foot pattern, your breakpoint needs to be like 2 or 3. You just have to have the breakpoint so far to the right, and then slowly as the pattern gets longer, that breakpoint moves in. So I think rule of 31 works well as a starter, but then you usually have to move your breakpoint closer to the gutter just for how modern day bowling balls hook and how rev rates have increased. I think 10, 15 years ago, rev rates were a lot lower. That's where rule of 31 fits a little better. Tattoo, my PSO does raffles and a guy finally won after spending $1,000. That is a time where you don't win. Remember, raffles are gambling at the end of the day. That is how it is. I will never tell you yay or nay to gamble. Due to injury, I have to switch my bowling arm from RecruitUS. Try to watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to get used to it. Because it's your non-dominant arm, it's going to take a long time to get used to just doing anything with it. So I would recommend just being slow off the rip. Will, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right, I think I missed a few. J-Bull ordered the VIP Revolt and ended up canceling it after getting the early reviews being not so great. Totally fair. Totally fair. That's why I think Motive was not, they waited so long to get reviews out there. That was actually the first batch of coverts that they made went to the ball reviewers who got them. So that is why you're seeing certain people with the coverts and certain people without them. Don't worry, I do not have a covert, so I will tell you what I have seen so far. I can't tell you how it rolls because no one I know actually has one. I think only influencers got these and the professionals. They probably had a bunch go to tour, and then they had ball reviewers actually get them. I don't think many staffers got them this early. I don't know though. I can't confirm or deny that. A Wood, what tools and apps can I use to find my rev rate and ball speed? Lane Tracks. Lane Tracks is going to be your best friend. Josh, in your best Storm arsenal, you had a Phase 2 and Ion Pro Solid as the top 2 in medium smooth. Absolutely. Do you think the Bionic replaces one of those two? It's too early to tell. It's too early to tell. We're still in the honeymoon phase with the Evil Eye, where the Ion Pro Solid and the Phase 2, we are not in the honeymoon phase anymore. So I need the Bionic to be out a little longer to really know if it's going to be that good. Because when a new ball comes out, the first thing you hear is that is the greatest ball ever made. Like, listen to, there's a couple more biased ball reviewers who are very much, every ball is the best ball ever. And they sometimes are trolly about it and jokingly poke at it. But once that honeymoon phase ends is really when we can tell if a ball deserves to be high up on that list or not. Evil Eye is growing on me for G. Bryant. NYX, Zero Mercy Pearl is my favorite ball of the last several years. Okay. I do see a question from Jaybird on the Rocket AI. Looks like a Road Warrior. Yeah, if you have a Road Warrior, don't get a Rocket AI. It fits in the exact same category. But the Rocket is going to be a little quicker down lane is what I'm seeing right now. So the Rocket AI is very close to the Rocket AI is going to be very close to the Next Factor, but a little bit sharper is what I'm seeing. Emily Olson, how do you buy tickets to go and watch the PBA? So to watch qualifying, it's completely free of charge. You can go and watch the PBA qualifying for $0. But if you want to go to the TV show, they have a link on their website. I think most of the shows are already sold out from what I'm seeing right now. That is what I saw this morning when I was looking. Hammer Radioactive Vibe Tour. That sounds like a mess. Ugh. How do you feel about the Swag Assassin? I think the Assassin is not a great ball, in all honesty. I was excited to see the Assassin because it was a symmetrical pearl, and right now Swag has 0 angular equipment. Just nothing's really angular enough compared to the competition, and I thought that Assassin would be it. And then I saw it came out of box at 3,000 grit, and then I saw the reviews that it actually isn't angular at all. It's just kind of like a step down from an Unreal Solid. And then I heard from people who bought it, do not buy it, was what I was told. I'm sorry if any ball company people watch these. I know you do. I am going to be blunt. That is what I have been told by multiple viewers. So I listen to my viewers a lot. I would rather watch qualifying. Perfect, Emily. Yeah, I think I'm going to be there Friday, Saturday. At least Friday for sure. I'm going to be at the World Series of Bowling. I don't know if I'll be there Saturday. It's my birthday, so I don't know what my plan is that day. I have my wedding shower on Sunday, so we'll see. Let's see. Ricky Ballard, Venom Hysteria, Bionic Vengeance Transformer. Where would I put the Brunswick Alert? I think the Brunswick Alert is one of the best balls on the market right now. I think it's the best ball Brunswick has on the market. So it's very good, but for 2026 balls, it doesn't really count. Yeah, JR Pro Shop Track Synthesis is a banger as well. So that's what I've heard a few times now from the few people who bought them. I mean, I keep my joke with Ebonite Spartan is I'm the only guy in America who bought one, and I love it. So I feel like the Synthesis is in a similar boat. And of course, it's a joke. A lot of people have the Spartan, but less than you'd expect. Torn between the Spartan and Synthesis. I have a teammate who throws an Ebonite Nitro R. You throw an 8-17 and no tap? Yeah, I mean, something old is going to hit the pocket a lot. You got to play super straight with it. So old bowling balls aren't bad by any means. They're just going to hook less and be smoother. They're going to give you less pin action. That's just how it is. Joey Two Tons, why is the Spartan not getting any love? Because it has an Ebonite logo on the side. If the Spartan had a Hammer logo on the side, I think it would be really good. There's a big thing with bowling where there's popularity and then there's actually, how good is the bowling ball? And sometimes those get merged together quite a bit. So bowling balls that are popular are seen as a lot better than those that are unpopular. Ebonite Spartan is a ball that is not popular. Ebonite just doesn't sell as well as Hammer or the main Brunswick brand. And Hammer has the Zero Mercy Solid out. The Spartan fits that exact same spot. So unfortunately, it's not popular. Because it's not popular, you don't have enough people to actually throw it to say it's good. That's what I have, like, when a lot of people ask, like, how's the deep impact? Like, it kind of fits the same boat. It's not popular, so you don't see a lot about it to say, is it actually that good? Does it fit a lot of styles? Because the way a bowling ball is good is not if you like it a lot. The bowling ball is good if a lot of styles throw it really well. Brunswick Alert was the perfect one where I've seen rev dominant two-handers and I've seen super high speed one-handers both do really well with that ball. Bionic is kind of going in the same direction as that. Those bowling balls are good because a lot of styles can throw them. Ion Pro Solid, another great option as well. So that's really what makes a ball good or bad. And it's so subjective, though. It's so subjective, like we are with everything in bowling. Dojo Supra Sport is your ball of the year. That's the first vote that the Super Sport got. My husband loves the Mayhem from Kelly. Yeah, a lot of the Motive guys love the Mayhem. I'm not a fan of mine, but I'm not a Motive guy. Motive never usually rolls that great for me, unfortunately. I don't know if it's the balls I've bought. I don't know if it's the surfaces I'm putting on them, but like the Max Thrill Hybrid was really good for like 5 games. And then it didn't really match up for me. Evoke Mayhem, I haven't really found a use for. It's weaker than some of my other balls in that category, which is unfortunate. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But the Motive guys are really liking that Evoke. Darkside Curse from Invisible for talking about ball of the year. Wolverine is switching from Hammer to Brunswick. Going to replace my Zen Soul. I would have said the Hammerhead, but that ball's gone. GB5 is about the only option. Brunswick squad wiped their medium smooth category, so there isn't much there. Let's see. Thomas Megahe, I bought 7 balls in 2025, not 1 for 2026. Kelso, good luck at Nationals. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. The covert will be there in the end from Scott. Oh, okay. I will be excited to see more about that covert. Yeah, I am excited to see where it fits. James Garza, just got the strategy new and use a Black Widow Mania. Are they the same? They're not the same, but they're very close. They're pretty close together. Let's see. Tori Casey, haven't bought a 26 ball. Yeah, we hit you already, Tori. B4 with the Motive Covert EJ coming out. 14 to 16 pound uses the Vanquish core. 12 to 13 quad fire. Why does Motive do this? So Motive, I don't know why they did that with the covert, but Motive usually tries to have an actual higher performance core in their weaker bowling or in their lower weight bowling balls to be different and to give options for the 12 and 13 pound bowlers. That one's a little bit weird. That one's a little bit weird why they have a different core entirely. Probably, honestly, I have no idea. I can't really say why. I have no idea. MN, Zach is likely flying Delta, getting lit Monday in first class. I've never flown first class. I have never flown first class. Jeremy, I might be heading to Minneapolis with the family in the second week of August. Do you offer pointers in person? I'd like some pointers for my son. I have never done in-person coach, or I have done in-person coaching, but not that often. I don't have any systems for it yet, but let's talk closer to August. Scott Lathrop, you just stepped in. When are you bowling nationals? I am bowling nationals next Tuesday. I believe that's May 5th at 11:30. And then on next Wednesday, May 6th at 7 a.m. So team is on Tuesday, doubles and singles is on Wednesday. Right now, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek since you're here. And, you know, there's only 220 plus of you right now in all the chats combined. What I'm thinking of bringing to nationals, my potential, I think I have it written down just in case. I do. Okay, what I am thinking right now is Optimum Idol Solid. I just used some Back to Life on it. Now, I haven't come out with my Back to Life video yet, and I'm only going to do that in a couple of weeks, but it actually works. Just putting that out there. Back to Life from Creating the Difference. The purpose of it and the what it's supposed to do is cause a ball to absorb oil quicker than it was previously, and it did succeed. So that was cool to see. Optimum Idol Solid coming in as ball number 1. Ball number 2, I was leaning Gremlin Tour, but after throwing the Ion Pro a little bit, I'm actually Xing that out and probably going Ion Pro. Now, I'm a little bit tempted to go with a Rockstar there instead, but right now it's Ion Pro. My big shiny ball is the Ebonite Spartan. That is my GOAT ball right now. I'm bringing a Concept for sure. I'm bringing my plastic, and I'm debating between a Bionic and a Rockstar Amped. That is what I'm planning on right now. 6 bowling balls, 2 3-ball rollers for the plane. And that's what I'm leaning on. Bionic and Rockstar Amped is going to be the toughest fight in my head. But that's what I'm thinking right now. So I'm not bringing an Ion Max, not bringing a Zero Mercy Solid. If I do need to bring something in that category, it would be Ion Max, though. Would definitely be an Ion Max. Zero Mercy for me is just a little too quick. Ryan, follow up to the chamois question. At what point should you replace a chamois? I don't think chamois ever need to get replaced. I think chamois just need to get cleaned. So when you have a chamois, we're going to use our lovely ZVL bowling chamois that you can get at dhlab3d.com. What you can do is you take your chamois, you get a bucket, a plastic tin, whatever it may be, fill it up with warm water. Doesn't have to be too warm or too, just warm or hot. Put Dawn dish soap in it, or any dish soap. Doesn't have to be Dawn. We are not sponsored by Dawn, unless Dawn wants to try to sponsor the channel, in which I have my business email down below. But you have some dish soap of some kind. You submerge chamois into dish soap. You leave it there for a while. You're going to notice the water get real types of murky. It's going to get dark. It's going to get nasty. Once it gets too nasty, you dump out the water, you refill it, you put in dish soap again, you repeat the process until the water is clear. Once the water is clear, you try to pat dry your chamois and you leave it to air dry for probably about 20 hours. It takes a while. These chamois can absorb a lot. You let it dry, boom, you're good to go. Now with a brand new chamois, it's going to absorb a little worse, but it's better. It's going to be cleaner. So I'd recommend that. I'm actually going to be switching out my chamois very, very soon. Scott, good luck. 2300 should work. Hey, if I can shoot a 2300, I will be partying in Reno for like 3 days straight. You're going to see me just going on a bender if I shoot 2300 out there. That would be miraculous. I think that would be a win. We need a good bowling ball care video. So that is coming. Yes, I do need to come up with something there. I want to kind of partner with bowling.com on that one because they have a lot of really good cleaners and accessories that you can use. I want to come up with like the right option. So I'm trying to do that video well. That's why it's taken a while for a bowling ball care video. Let us keep on trucking. James Garza, bracking balls or whatnot is great Tuesday and Thursday. Clark, I was just going to ask the same question about the new best strong smooth balls. That is where like the synthesis I think is good. Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty is #1. Transformer has been good in that spot as well. JR, the Covert VIP wasn't auto ship for the influencers. You had to pay out of pocket if you wanted one. Oh, interesting. You had to pay. Icky. Huh. Okay. That's why you're probably not going to see a whole lot of reviews for it. Only Dan's. Thank you for the follow. Jaybird, what are your thoughts on the Rocket AI we hit? Freak Show, I tried to download Lane Tracks, said I was on the wait list. So, oh yeah, that's the problem with Lane Track. Lane Track's only on iOS right now. Yeah, I found out talking to the main guy at Lane Tracks that it is, you basically have to make 2 different apps if you want to have it on iPhone and on Android. So he only has it on iPhone right now because he is a college student and he made something awesome. Otherwise, there's some other choices out there. I believe 10-Pin Toolkit has a good way of finding it as well. All right, let's keep on trucking. Recommendations for a strong smooth ball, not $200. Would Heckler or Zigzag work for you, Brian? Yeah, I think Heckler and Zigzag work. They're both under $100, so it's the cheapest you're going to find, which is great. Jay Gabbard, what's going on? Good luck seeing you, or looking forward to seeing you in Minnesota for Junior Gold. Yeah, so I saw somebody else mention it, and I apologize. I missed that comment. But I will be at Junior Gold as much as I possibly can when Junior Gold is in Minnesota in early July. So I'll be having a lot more videos coming out around that time about where specifically I'm going to be. But I will be at Junior Gold. I will be at Junior Gold a ton. You're going to see me quite a bit. Joseph Ross, looking forward to Reno next week, hoping the weather cooperates. I like walking to local restaurants. I mean, it's Reno. It never rains in Reno. Basically, it's the desert. Deserts don't rain. Mr. Battle, I'm going to a tournament in Samtown. Higher friction lane surfaces, if I remember right. Mike, happy birthday. Thank you so much, Mike. Let us keep on going. Remember, we are about an hour and a half into the stream. So if you guys haven't, make sure to follow and subscribe. It's the best way to help support the channel. Make sure to hit the like button if you are new here for any of those things that I previously mentioned. Best way to help support. I am a full-time content creator. This is my only job. So my goal is to try to help you guys become better bowlers, grow the sport of bowling, try to build this thing back up to something really, really fun. So trying to be positive and excited and just a good, hopefully, educator in the space, and as well as bringing some fun into it. So if you guys enjoy that, make sure to drop likes, follows, all that fun jazz. We have a lot of cool links in our description. We got a lot of cool partners that are popping up on the screen right now. Turbo, bowling.com, RecruitUS, Apparel EFX, a lot of cool people. G Fuel, a lot of fun people. Let's keep going. 300 Dreamin' got a combat hybrid. I'm excited about that ball too. I haven't seen much about it, unfortunately. We need the Pokeball demo. We haven't had the Pokeball pop up lately. Yes, our favorite thing that we use on the live streams is a Pokeball that we can use as a miniature bowling ball. So we can show hand position and we can show backswing. We can show everything with this thing. It's beautiful. It's the only sphere-like object that I have. It is spherical. Somebody better get a Drake and Josh reference. Bowling with the Faf Nitro R was fantastic for me in high school. That's awesome. Birdie, what's a good ball under the next factor? Hustles. You're going to get down to the hustle lineups at that point. Hustles, hammer raws, bubblegum vibe, things like that. Tim, Gremlin Tour X has been very good for you. Very versatile. Yeah, it's a little stronger than I expected too. I actually bumped it up on all my charts on my categorization guides because of how strong that ball actually is. I'm very surprised at the strength level of that bowling ball. I have noticed it to be a little quicker than I expected at my local lanes as well. At tournaments, if there's down lane oil, that thing is not quick. It kind of hits that and lays down. But if there's not down lane oil, that ball can be a little bit quick. That's actually why I'm not bringing it to national. So the big thing, if you're ever going to the USBC Open Championships, there is more down lane motion on your bowling balls than in your home center. The lane surfaces are lower friction. Bowling balls store more energy, so they're a little sharper down lane. So bowling balls, you generally want smoother bowling balls for that reason. So that's where like the Gremlin Tour, it was quick in my home center. So I was like, oh man, I need something a little smoother. That's where the Ion Pro came into play. That is where the Ion Pro popped in. Will rank these balls for a no-thumb rev-dominant bowler. Oh, that's a lot of bowling balls, brother. I'm guessing you're in a half-a-ball league. I've noticed a lot of the Bolero half-a-ball leagues all offer the same exact bowling balls. So, yeah, for no-thumb rev-dominant, you're going to want the weaker balls. Heckler Hybrid, Entity Pearl, Criterion Inverse, or the Evil Eye are going to be your best options. And then I like Motive Equipment. The issue I have with them is that their dull cover stocks lane shine incredibly quickly. I've actually had the opposite usually, is that their covers don't lane shine that quickly. My Evoke Mayhem actually does a little bit, but the rest of the stuff doesn't. Pajama Pally, are you in standard or regular division? I'm in regular. If regular, break a leg. If standard, face blue wide. No, I'm in regular. Yeah. Yeah. I think I just checked I think I have like a 190 average for my average out there. I think I did have a tournament average for a couple years now. So my first year, I think I went like 1680 or something. A couple of years I went like high 1680s. One year I was trash. I was terrible. Only Dan, thank you for the subscription. But last year was like a 1760 or something. Usually I had 18 a couple years ago, I think. I don't know. I already forgot what bowling balls I brought last year, which is terrible. Mike, you can't put a chamois in a washing machine. I don't recommend it because I don't know what'll happen. You probably can, but I like to just keep that oil outside of a washing machine, personally. Broken Butter uses the Ion Pro. Not sure what else to get. If you want something stronger, you could go Rockstar Phase 2. That's my favorite ball up. If you want to go something sharper, that's where like a Rockstar Amped or something fits. I'm just going to turn my phone over. That thing is blowing up right now. Brian Sweet, I messed up my chamois trying to rub the oil out. Should have just soaked it multiple times. Yep, that's always the best play. Jay Gabbard, when you come down to watch Junior Gold, you think you'll watch Squad 23. We're U16. We have some pretty good people and we're excited. Oh, yeah, I'm going to try to hit a little bit of everything. So once we get closer to Junior Gold, I want to find out like what squads you guys are on, what age divisions and all that. And I just want to chill out at some of the centers. I'm going to probably put on a lot of miles that weekend, just kind of driving around from center to center in Minnesota. That is probably what's going to happen. Guardian, it's snow there, but not like Minnesota. Yeah, we get a little bit of snow. Corky, how would somebody go about self-coaching? My miss is usually inside and not exactly sure what causes it. The best thing you can do, here we go. We're sitting up for this one. The best thing you can do for your bowling game, period. The best thing you can do is buy one thing. That is a tripod. A tripod is the greatest bowling purchase you can buy. 100%, 10 days out of the week. A tripod is going to be the best way you can get better. But why? Why is a tripod the best way you can better? Good question. I love that you guys asked that. The reason is because getting videos of yourself bowling is the best way to improve. The best way is to know what your game looks like, is to understand your game at a really deep level. Just know exactly what you do all the time, like just by seeing it, like recording yourself and then watching back and seeing, oh, that's what I do on step 2, step 3, understanding your game, and then using that to try to fix little things about your game. If you notice, man, my shoulders are way too square to the target the entire time. I need to open them. What you do, you set up your tripod, you go and practice, you record every shot. What you do is try to focus on, all right, I'm going to try to feel like I'm opening my shoulders more. I'm going to try to lead with my front shoulder or something. And then you're going to watch a video. Did you actually do it? Because a lot of the time what happens is you will you'll throw a shot and you'll be like, man, I felt really good. I felt like my hand did the right thing. My shoulder was in the right place, whatever it may be. But then you look back, it's like, nothing changed. What happened? So what I recommend, the best way to self-coach, to get better, just to understand your game, get videos of yourself bowling. Tripods are cheap, $10-ish on any Amazon, TikTok shop, whatever it may be. If you use TikTok shop, I have some in my showcase. Make sure to buy those. I get a little bit of a kickback if you do. But that is the best thing you can buy in the bowling world to get better, is a tripod. And you don't even need a tripod half the time. I used to use my accessory bag to perch my phone up with. It was a lot harder. Tripod is 10 times easier, but anything to just hold your phone up to get recordings. You don't need a good phone either. Just need a phone or anything to get videos. It can be a GoPro. It can be a Sony ZV-1F that I have that I just purchased for live streaming equipment. That's coming very, very soon. Teal, happy early birthday from a fellow Taurus. I always loved that I was a Taurus. Like, I don't know anything about like signs or anything like that, but I loved being a Taurus because Tauros is a Pokemon. It was like, hey. So I had a Pokemon connection. It's the only sign that actually sounds like a Pokemon. Only Dan, everyone has to use their free Prime subs for Zach. That is true. If you have Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription per month to any creator of your choice, any streamer. So I'd really appreciate it if you use it on me. That'll get you ad-free viewing over on Twitch. Dolomite, is the Evil Eye a good replacement for a Squatch Solid? I would not. I think the Squatch Solid is a lot weaker. I think like a Game Breaker 5 is a little closer to a Squatch Solid, or even like an Alert is closer to a Squatch Solid. William Frazier, would be a good ball down from the Bionic? Doing a Have a Ball league where I can get any ball. We'll only have a Bionic and a Hustle Glow. Ooh, Monsoon. IQ Tour. Arctic Vibe. Alert. Kind of. Ion Pro Solid. Venom Shock. That's the list. Trying to think of more. Leo, have you bowled at the Orleans in Vegas? Yes, I actually usually do pretty well at the Orleans. Orleans is a fun place. The hotel and casino is kind of mid. It's got that old-timey, like, Louisiana vibe to it, but it's a cool place. A lot of positives with that place. I like the Orleans. I've stayed there twice now, I believe. But I like it. Yeah, it's a little higher friction. Yep, quiet guy. I use a shoe. See, I don't want my stuff to be stinky. Like, I don't want my phone to be stinky, so no, I'm kidding. William, just taking a few videos every practice session has helped me immensely. Yes, I don't think a lot of people actually know what it looks like when they throw. I actually now use that advice on other things in my life. Like, I'm in slow pitch softball, and when my swing was feeling out of whack, I was a baseball player my whole life, I will get a video of my swing. And then I can really see. That helped me last season or 2 seasons ago. I was struggling quite a bit. Like, I kept popping out or I kept pushing everything to right. And I didn't know why. Yeah, I think it was I was pushing everything right was the problem. Everything I hit was a push. I was like, what is going on with my swing? Why is everything like I'm getting earlier and earlier on the timing, but I'm still pushing it. What's going on? So I go and watch some videos and I can see that my hands are leading so much, but I'm not actually getting the body in front of it was the problem. So that felt a lot better once I watched a video myself. So I don't think a lot of people know how they throw a ball. Because that can help show, like, do you have high axis rotation? Do you have low axis rotation? Do you have high tilt? Do you have a high rev rate? Where's your hand on the bottom of the swing? Et cetera, et cetera. Brian, mine is on the 7th. Hey, happy early birthday to you as well. May birthdays are the best birthdays. It is a proven fact. Lord Ragnar, could you help me decide what to take to Nationals in Reno? I'm going to take 3. Yeah, let me know what bowling balls you got. And we are we're at about an hour and a half right now. I thought we were 2 hours. My bad. We are at about an hour and a half. So keep asking any questions you guys have down below. We talked about the best bowling balls about 40-ish minutes ago. We've got more questions on that. If you have more questions on the Bowl TV stuff, World Series of Bowling, PTQ, if you have any questions on that, I'd love to hear it. I do want to give a massive, massive shout out to Minnesota bowling legend Brady Stearns for making it through the pre-tournament qualifier today. He is an incredible bowler. He's been the best bowler in Minnesota for multiple years, and it's awesome to see him make it through the World Series of Bowling. I also want to give a shout out to Brandon Cryer as well, Minnesota bowler, made it through the PTQ. He was the bubble boy. He had a couple of bad games near the end, was able to squeak through, make it on to the next round. So huge shout out to the 2 Minnesota bowlers that made it through to the World Series of Bowling. Very, very excited to see how they do in the next couple of weeks. It'll be very fun to see. I'm very happy for that. I've known Brady for probably 8 years now, I think. Probably about 8-ish years I've been bowling stuff that he's been going to. So it's awesome to see him succeed so much. Ragnar back from ads. Yeah, Ragnar, just let me know what bowling balls you have, is what I was asking. GBR, Effect Tour or an Alert as an X ball? I have a Black Widow Mania. I would go Alert. I love my Effect Tour. I think that's the best ball I've had in the last couple of years, but I would go Alert. Brad, I played a lot of slow pitch softball over the years. Taught myself early to hit to right field. Oh, 100%. Yeah, if you need to succeed, Oh, that's an interesting comment. Someone who might be secretly watching on Facebook just shot me a message. Interesting. But I was a guy who I'm a pull hitter. Like I was our home run guy. My team, we're like lowest division. And I was our homer guy, so I was our 3-hole for a while. But last year, or 2 years ago, last time I played, like they put in a home run limit, or they put in a pretty hard home run limit, and I was struggling. So I would, first couple of at-bats, try to just tank it to right field to try, because usually right fielders weren't good in our division. So it was a nice little easy way to get a couple of extra bases. And you could even just hit like a liner in the gap and you'll somehow get a triple out of it. Leo ordered a Zero Mercy Pearl. Love that. Love that. Brian, I didn't know I turned my hand until people told me. Been using video as much as possible. Perfect. Teal, what's a good weak smooth ball? Low speed and rev, still learning fundamentals. I like the danger zone in that spot. It's stronger than you'd expect. But if you're low speed, low revs, that might be an okay option. If you truly want to stay a little straighter, though, that's where like a weak smooth is a tough category. IQ Tour usually fits. If you want something actually cheap, that's where like the Hustle X-Ray is a really good option. That one is still out. Yeah, they discontinued the Earth. They did not discontinue the X-Ray, so I would go with that one. Brandon Yoon still praying for that Alpha Crux 2025. They released a 2025 one. That was an overseas only, if I remember right. I never saw any pictures of it, which is surprising. That was a little weird. Insert name, 100% on the tripod. Seeing how I bowl is completely different than how I feel. Exactly. RJ in a league at this moment, and most embarrassing moment just happened. We got disqualified. Teammates rag is wet ball cleaner. Sucks to end the season. That's such a... Nah, that's dumb. Wait. Okay, I gotta back up. RJ, did your teammate do it on purpose? Like, did he know that you can't clean your ball during competition? And number two, that doesn't really give you better ball reaction. So it's kind of dumb, personally. I don't know. I think that rule is always kind of humorous, and I can't believe someone would call it. And also, your team shouldn't get disqualified. I think his scores are supposed to just be 0, is what happens. So let me know. I'm kind of curious if he did it on purpose or not. Robert J, what is the weakest ASIM ball on the market? Ooh, Next Factor. Storm Next Factor is the weakest ASIM by a lot. One Real, what do I think about backup bowling? Hey, you do you. Whatever works. I'm not against any kind of bowling in any way. If backup works for you, awesome, good. There's a lot of great backup bowlers out there. Ryan, what's the best benchmark ball in my opinion? Phase 2 is still number 1 to me. I think Phase 2 is still the best benchmark. Otherwise, Game Breaker 5 is really good. Venom Shock is still really good. Alert has been really good as a benchmark as well. Deal with it. Exotic Gem Bionic Concept, a good third ball. Looks like you're a little more rev dominant. I wouldn't go Concept. I would go a weaker shiny ball. Next Factor, Rocket AI, IQ AI, things like that. Steph Silly, Next Factor, or Rockstar Amped? Two-handed, 500 plus rev rate. Whoa, I would go Next Factor. That's a lot of rev rate. That's a lot of rev rate. Gandhi, over on YouTube. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Only Dan, do you think the Rocket AI would be too close to a Dark Side Curse? It depends how many bowling balls you have. The Rocket is going to be sharper down lane, and it should be a little bit later. It kind of depends on how you drill it. Yeah. If you have them both at 3.5 inch pin to cog, they should be a good complement instead of fighting each other. Rick Too Tough, speed dominant, down and in. Need a ball up from the theorem, but you want a Pearl. Steer full. I would go Zero Mercy Pearl. I would recommend Zero Mercy over the Steel. Kelso, I turned myself into a 200 bowler strictly by using video, teaching myself. And that's kind of the thing with me too, is I never have had a true coach. I've used 2 lessons from Mark Baker, and that's it. So I'm kind of self-taught in a lot of ways. Different advice from different people I see. But overall, it's pretty much self-taught, and video is the reason I don't throw it terrible anymore. Like, I won't say I throw it great right now, but I don't throw it terrible anymore because of video, and I was able to check how I throw it. Let's see. Brandon Yoon, Frankie uploaded an alpha on his story. I did hear about that. Yeah, Frankie posted a... Let me see what it was. Someone sent me a picture of it, actually, which is wild. It was a... There it is. Frankie said, she's back with an Alpha Crux. I didn't see if it's a current year or what it is. But yeah, that did happen. Gandhi, Alert, or Rockstar Amp. They're very different balls. It depends if you need something bigger and smoother, or a little sharper and quicker. Mike, I had an issue of missing left like that guy you answered. I was popping up at the line like Walter Ray, causing me to turn my shoulders. Just something to look into for videos. Yeah, shoulders and like where your torso is pointing is one of the biggest things in bowling. Is if your torso kind of determines where your ball goes. If I face my torso directly at you, my chest is right at the camera right now, and I put my arm back, that's as far as my shoulder wants to go. You can see it right here. Hi there. It doesn't go. But if I open those shoulders, hey, look, I can get to a decent spot. So that's very important. If I have my shoulders here, my arm, I'm not going to be able to throw it that direction, but I'm going to be able to throw it this direction. If I open my shoulders, I can now throw it that direction. So shoulders are very important. Radical Spy is a weak ASIM. That one doesn't count. That one is a plastic cover, so I wouldn't count that guy. Justin Parker, best way to find comparable balls from different brands or discontinued models still on sale. Looking for something like the RG Road Grip Transformer or Bionic, but cheaper. So if you want cheaper bowling balls that are still in production, my first offer is like online retailers like bowling.com are going to have all bowling balls, and you're going to see their prices kind of do this. You're going to see the prices go all over the place. So like right now, I think let me look at bowling.com quick, what they have on sale. I thought I saw do they have the Combat on sale yet? Nope, they do not have the Combat on sale yet. Okay, I was curious if they did or not, but they do already have the Brunswick Energize at $130. The ball's not discontinued. Why is that $130? Good for them. Evil Eye, $144. So you can see they'll sometimes have bowling balls on the sites that are cheaper. If you're looking for specifics, like Transformer is not on sale and the Bionic are not on sale. So if you want to find those, you're going to have to go to a used site, or eBay are going to be your best bets. But remember, used balls, be careful with a little bit more, because they can sometimes have a lot of games on them that people don't tell you about. That's one of the big things. Big things with those. Thomas Megahe, do you ever get down to the panhandle of Florida? I have never actually been to Florida, ever. I want to travel a lot more, especially with the new job being this, that I want to travel a bit more, go bowl some tournaments in other places, go bowl some of the bigger things. So I have a few things in the works. Like right now, I'll be in Reno next week. I'll be in Springfield, Missouri at the end of the month. End of June, I'll be in Nashville. And then July, I'll be in Minneapolis. August, I'm going to be in, end of July, I'm going to be in Iowa for a tournament. So I'll be kind of all over the place. But I am hoping to get down there. Is the Zero Mercy Pearl really good? The Zero Mercy Pearl is good. I don't know about really good. Speed dominant, I think for speed dominant bowlers, it's really good. For balance and rev dominant, it's good. Trayvon, what's the best heavy hooking solid and pearl? Best heavy oil bowling ball, Zero Mercy solid. Best heavy pearl ball, Ion Max Pearl. All right. Let's keep trucking. We are through most of the comments we're seeing. Cody got a Guru Oracle. Hopefully that ball's good. Kelso, funny story about Mark Baker. After self-learning through his analysis, went to his camp and he basically says, looks great to me. Sheesh, what to do? And a coach says that. I can see Bake saying that. Yeah, that would fit. He's like, yeah, you're good. Because he got a lot of people there. So yeah, hey, that's a good thing. That's a positive. Jaybird, comparing the Combat Hybrid and the Severe Collision, which will be better for tournaments? Combat Hybrid. Combat Hybrid is going to be a lot smoother down lane. Severe, the Combat doesn't have HK22 in the cover, so it's a lot smoother than a lot of other bowling balls. Is it forgiving and versatile? Forgiving and versatile are very subjective. So versatile, not really. It's a little too strong for that, but generally really strong core and cover bowling balls aren't the most versatile. So I think it fits as a tool, it fits where it needs to really well. Forgiving is kind of tough depending on the oil pattern. House shot, yes. Sport shot, nothing's that forgiving. Quiet guy, I have a real tripod, but I'd rather leave it in the car and use an emergency old bowling shoe in a bar stool. That's awesome. And I know I always feel a little weird pulling out a tripod and when I'm bowling, like I get some looks for it. I get it. But for me, like I'm a content creator. So that's what I push through my head. Like I make content. This is my job. So be okay with it, you dummy. But if you're practicing, I 100% get it. I didn't buy a tripod for years solely for that reason. I wasn't going to be that guy that had a tripod. But now that I have one, it's very nice. Otherwise, just, yeah, finding any way to have your phone propped up is perfect. Just any way you can do that is great. Lane Track's video is pretty useful. Yes, Joe is very correct on that. Lane Tracks actually now records videos of you when you actually use it. So it'll track you throwing a shot, it'll give you speed, revs, all that stuff, and it'll show the shot then a couple seconds later. So it's been really nice for that. And you can save the videos as well. Mike Carson, good ball to use for old time down and in player with a low rev rate. Ooh, that's always a little tough. What is that? Stephen Johnson. I'm changing the lives of the first 5 people to message me. Nobody do that. Stephen Johnson, don't get in people's DMs over on TikTok. Nobody listen to that person. Over 1 million successful. 6-figure trader. Nope. Sorry, buddy. We are going to mute you for a minute. Sorry, man. I always love the scammers on these. They're always so funny. Scammers are always humorous to me, and it also hurts because they do well. So, oh, it's unfortunate. But let's see. What was the question again? Apologies. Mike, it was old-time down and in player with a low rev rate. I usually like lower-end bowling balls for that you can play a little straighter with. So Monsoon, I think, is going to be really good. Monsoon Typhoon combo. Otherwise, Arctic Vibe, Bubblegum Vibe can be really good as well. Those lower-end bowling balls are going to be a little bit better because you want to play more in the what I call the dirt, otherwise more in the friction of the lane where there isn't as much oil. Let's see. Brad bowled the Southwest Open in Wichita. It was awesome. Good. I think I'm bowling that next year. I think someone talked me into that next year. G. Bryant, you're bowling in Nashville. Yes, for Bowl Expo. Are you bowling in a tournament nearby? I'm about 30 minutes from Nashville. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm actually doing at Bowl Expo, in all honesty. Oh, I'm terrible at this job. I know I'm going, and I know I have a super secret meeting I'm having with somebody. That isn't actually that secret, but I'll be meeting at a plant nearby there. But otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing the trade show, which will be fun. I think I'm supposed to go to a couple pro shop classes. But I don't know. We're going to find out. Maybe I'll go bowl there. That'd be fun. Nomar, been thinking about getting one of the recently discontinued balls as the price go down. A few are already sold out, so grabbing the Hammerhead. I tried grabbing a Theorem Solid. For that super cheap price, and I was too late, and I was really sad because that was the ball I really liked. William, getting over being that guy is a defining moment in one's game. Pretty much, yeah. It's a hard thing to get over, though. J Bowles looking to fill a weak and smooth slot. Generally, you're leaning towards Storm, Roto, and Motive. Hustle, X-Ray, and Monsoon. I would go Monsoon. It's stronger and a little more versatile than the Hustles because it has a little stronger of a core and a slightly stronger cover / almost the same cover. So I would go Monsoon. And will the Severe Collision be good on House? Yeah, it'll be great on House. It's just going to be worse on Sport. Brandon Tipton, Bowl Expo is nothing but garbage. Motive doesn't go to Bowl Expo. Okay. I mean, I'm already going. I have my stuff booked, so. Lord Ragnar, I've never gone, so I'm interested. Lord Ragnar, not sure if you caught my current arsenal. Yeah, please do again. I missed that one. Justin C, do you expect companies to discontinue balls after Memorial Day? 100%. That's usually the big time that it'll happen. If you're going to a qualifier this week, oh yeah, I'll bump into people who really, really like me in the channel. Oh well. It's kind of funny being in this spot. There's a couple bigger names that really, really don't like me, and I don't know why, but it's kind of that situation of you're not going to please everybody. But it's people with a lot of power, so that always gets worrisome. That guy, Evan, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Okay, Ragnar, there it is. I see it. Hazmat Solid, Cypher Solid, Scorpion Strike, Low Flare, Criterion Inverse. Hazmat Solid, Cypher Solid, Strike, Low Flare. Yeah, you have a lot of medium-ish stuff, medium and weaker stuff. So if you want another ball, an asymmetrical ball will be good. A stronger asymmetrical than the Criterion. Whether that be a solid or a pearl is up to you, though. Let's see. Ryan, thank you for the follow over on TikTok as well. And hello, Evan. Hope you're doing well. He said phase 2 is the best. I'm a Motive lover, Venom Shock. Yeah, Motive. I mean, the Venom Shock is the best Motive benchmark ball. There's a lot of incredible bowling balls. A lot of incredible bowling balls out there. I think I will argue that 2026 is the strongest year for bowling balls we've ever had. Well, we've had in a long time. I won't say ever. I have very limited visibility into historical game, into like the 2000s and 2010s, but I think this year is one of the best we've ever had. JP Bowls, stealth mode. I'm so sad that one's gone. I wanted a stealth mode so bad, and I wanted it for cheap. I wasn't going to spend the 150 on it, but I think I have to if I want it, but I'm not going to get it now. Remember, for anybody new who's like, well, why doesn't he just get the ball companies to send it one? I don't get bowling balls from companies. Just throwing that out there. I always have to like preface with that because people see the channel and think, oh yeah, he gets bowling balls for free and early like the rest. I do not. So I do not have, I have not been able to throw a lot of the stuff unless I purchase it myself. And because I have, the new job, I'm buying a little bit less. And the new job is this, which is kind of ironic and unfortunate, but less money flowing in right now, which is A-okay. Wayne, Buddies is blowing out a bunch of these discontinued balls. Interesting. Ragnar, we hit. Authentic. Would the Gremlin complement the Ion Pro Solid? Yes, it would. Yeah, Gremlin would. RST Hyperdrive Pearl. Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amp, those things. Ragnar, do you think I should get the... Yes, Black Widow Dynasty would be a good one to get, Ragnar. Absolutely. Tristan Presley, do you bowl PBA? If not, why not? I do not bowl PBA. I am an amateur bowler through and through. To be very blunt with you, I am not good enough to be on the PBA tour by a lot. Even for regionals, if I bowled 10 regionals, I would say I could cash at... I would like to say 4 is like ego talking. Otherwise, 3, I would say, would be like a reasonable number. Depends on the regionals, of course, but I think I could make cuts. But I would not be able to be good enough to bowl consistently on tour and make a lot of money. No, definitely not. I need a lot more work till we get to that point. If I get to that point, I'll let you guys know and it'll be fun. But no, I am not good enough to be a PBA tour bowler. Marlo, since we're talking about bowling balls, we'll take a look at overseas balls. So bowlers outside the U.S. could have a reference. I generally don't cover overseas balls because there's so many of them and so many people don't care about them. So I unfortunately run into the spot where I make content, and if that content doesn't get views, I can't continue producing it because YouTube and TikTok and Facebook will start suppressing my stuff because it just doesn't get views. So I have to play that game of like what's useful, but I also have to do what people care about. And unfortunately, the crowd for overseas balls just isn't that big. So I can't really cover them. And I personally don't know a lot about them. There's not much information about them. There aren't many reviews on them. They usually just kind of get like secretly dropped, shadow dropped a lot of the time. So I don't know much about them. If I see overseas balls that get a lot of popularity, then I will try to look into them more so I can answer questions, but I usually don't make full videos of a lot of overseas stuff. I like covering overseas as a whole topic because I think there's some awesome overseas bowling balls out there, but I don't think it's enough to make like a lot of videos towards them. And bandwidth wise, that's just too many balls to try to cover as well. K-Brew, got a chance to watch any of the EJ videos? Yes, I watched CTD's video. I watched that a couple times actually through just to see about Back to Life. So that one opened my eyes about what Back to Life is supposed to do. Back to Life isn't something that is directly like going to make a ball from dead to great. What it does is it just makes the ball absorb oil quicker, which is something that a lot of people didn't know about that product. But after using it, yes, 100%, that ball just makes your ball absorb oil, or that equipment just makes your ball absorb oil quicker. It's what it does. It's what it's best at. Timothy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, man. Appreciate it. Rocket AI versus the Typhoon. Depends what you're using it for, of course. I like the Typhoon best. I think the Typhoon is best right now. It has a better track record. It has a lot more visibility behind it. I think the Typhoon is a safer ball to get right now. The Rocket is not even out yet. I think the Rocket will fit a good spot that the Typhoon doesn't fit. But I think they do two different things. Right now, I would go Typhoon. Typhoon is going to be better just for that spot. Jaybird looking to perfect Korean-based bowling team, and they showcase every overseas ball. I'll have to check them out. Here, let me open a tab for them just so I don't forget. That's like my not that. I should probably add bowling on it. Oh, there we go. Perfect. The One Giant. That's a sick name. That's a sick name. X. I think if you have to like AI core stuff, some people just don't care for it. And the AI stuff like originally was really bad. I shouldn't say really bad. It rolled a lot more forward than a lot of the other stuff. But I think they fixed that problem a lot now. So the AI cores, I don't notice a difference with. Like with the Rockstar Amped versus Phase 2 Pearl, if I didn't know what the balls were and I threw them and you had to have me pick which one is the AI core, I'd have no idea. Or Typhoon, I think, is another one where like I don't know its AI core. So I think they're doing a good job on that front. But I think they're also doing a good job at adding stuff that isn't AI core with stuff that is AI core, like having a good range in their arsenal. Kind of like how Brunswick has their HK22 stuff and their non-HK22 stuff. I think that's been really good. All right. We are going to answer like 5 more questions, and then I'm going to be calling it a day because I've been talking a lot in the last couple of hours. Since about 12:30 I've been talking is what I'm now noticing. It wasn't 12. No, it was like, I think I only got to the thing at like 1:30. So it's probably been like since 2 o'clock onward I've been talking quite a bit. Only Dan, looking at being able to drill my own bowling balls. Would you recommend a pro shop class? Yes, I would. No, I would recommend a pro shop class first, and then I would recommend talking to a pro shop because a lot of pro shops won't talk to you if you don't have the pro shop class experience, especially if you're just some random kid or random person. They really won't care that much because a lot of pro shops get a lot of people like, I want to learn how to do this stuff, just wanting free equipment. That's a big problem that bowling has. A lot of people want free stuff. So I would do that. Captain Sidetrack, you have a One Ovation, Equinox Solid, Bionic, IQ Tour, looking at a weaker angular ball. Crown Victory, great option. Rocket AI fits, Typhoon fits. Llama Buddy, you're balanced and you have a max effect and a strike. What should be my next ball? I would go something weaker than a max effect. Alert fits well. Anger Solid used to fit well there. Ion Pro Solid fits there. Just a weaker medium ball. Which carries more on house shot, angular or continuous, two-handed lefty. If you're a lefty, continuous, 100%. A continuous ball, so the difference, continuous is going to be smoother than angular. I think an angular ball is a little too much, especially on the left side for a lot of house shots. It forces you a little too deep on the lane. So I think a continuous will be better. Kelso, I just drilled my stealth mode. There you go. Mystic Billy, is my arsenal good? Jackal Onyx, Mania, Phase 2, Typhoon. I like that. It's a good arsenal. It's a good solid arsenal. Josh King, Zero Mercy Solid Ball of the Year. And that's a 2025 ball, man. Come on. Now that was, what, November? I think November 20, it's like November 21st or something. It wasn't on Thanksgiving, it was the week prior. Tristan, Rocket is a light volume pattern. Typhoon is a burn or dry. If you know, you know. Those are the same thing, man. Well, light volume, I guess, is not burn dry. Fair. Making flippy floppies. Currently using an Arctic Vibe. You want a new one with more snap? Crown Victory. Crown Victory will be your bet. All right. But that is going to be it for today's live stream. I want to thank everybody who hopped in. I want to give a reminder. I haven't mentioned this yet. I will be gone for all live streams next week because I will be in Reno for the USBC Open Championships. I don't know why I did it like that. No idea. I will be in Reno for the Open Championships, so I will not be live streaming next Monday or next Wednesday. That will be May 4th and May 6th. So May the 4th will have to be with you on your own and not with me. I will be gone for both of those days, but I will be back the week after. There will be videos coming out on every single platform the entire time while I'm there. A couple big videos coming. We have a Rev Dominant Arsenal coming soon. My Nationals Prep is coming soon. Speed Dominant Arsenal. Soon I'll have a Back to Life review coming out. I have a video plan on how to be more positive in the sport of bowling. I just saw another video that pissed me off. That was at like 50,000 views, just bashing bowling and being actually very like non-factual about what they were bashing bowling about. And I think that's getting a little too ridiculous in a lot of ways, that people are now rage baiting for views. So I want to try to attack that a little bit. So yeah, that video was also AI. Fun fact. It was an AI commentator the whole way. So someone just wrote a script, had AI do it. and they had AI make pictures and it got 50,000 views, which was sad. But we will be doing that. So thank you guys so much. Remember, huge thank you to all of our partners up here. DH Lab 3D is up there right now. RecruitUS, go check them out. Bowling.com for any of your bowling needs. Make sure to say ZVL sent you if you buy anything from Bowling.com, the best online e-tailer for bowling. We have otherwise Apparel EFX. Use code ZVL, 10% off any jerseys that you want from them. We have G Fuel. Use code ZVL Bowling for 30% off anything. And also make sure to go check out the best accessory and finger insert and thumb company, and just making all around the extra stuff in bowling, Turbo. Turbo is absolutely incredible. They have been awesome people so far, and we have a lot of cool things coming with Turbo as well. So huge thank you to all of them. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors. I appreciate every single one of you that's coming in. Thank you so much for hopping in all these past few weeks. We're close to a couple big milestones. We have a lot of fun things coming, so make sure to go just be ready for a lot of cool things on the channel. Hopefully I can see a lot of you at some of the events coming up very, very soon. TikTok, I'm going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so much for hopping in. I will see you all on the next one. And then finally, we have everybody else. Everybody else, thank you guys so much for hopping in. A lot of fun things, like I said, coming up the next couple of weeks. We have our finale for our league tomorrow as well, so that should be pretty fun. But otherwise, I'll be covering a lot of the World Series of Bowling stuff. Make sure to stay tuned so I can let you guys know what some of the most popular bowling balls are, what guys are throwing it well, what are some layouts being used, what is some talk and discussions going on, and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for hopping in. I really do appreciate it. I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.